T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, Inside Sports Fantasy Football, Game Source, of course, the great folks at Lakerholics.com. Go ahead and be part of the fun today with Jamie Sweet, who's in the chat right now, and Laker Tom, the number one Lakers blogger that's out there, right there for you at Lakerholics.com. Our good friend Joe Soro, a.k.a. Ox1947, you can catch him today at LakersBall.com. Plus, also as well, if you got a lawn, well, if you need your lawn transformed into something much better than it is today, and you live in the Southern California area, please go ahead and check out Simblades, Simblades with a Y.com. Plus, also as well, if you can, be a part of our fun that we have each and every game, like tonight at playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. It's going to be a great time as the Lakers face off against the Bucks with the guys right there for you at Lakers Fast Break, right there for you on playback.tv. Also as well, if you can, be a part of our post-game coverage tonight after the game. It is the best Lakers chat that's out there. That's right there at Lakers Fast Break. So if you can like, share, subscribe, follow, or do whatever it is you can to support us right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, Game Source, Inside Sports Fantasy Football, of course, everywhere that we do at Lakerholics.com, and of course, LakersBall.com. Our good friends at the Hoop Heads Podcast Network. And if you can support all of that, and please, last time, like and subscribe. We really need all the help we can get as far as subscribing, getting up there on YouTube so we can get noticed out there in the algorithms. So it really helps out. So if you can like, share, subscribe, and support us any way you can, it is sincerely appreciated. And big shout out also as well to Courtside Lakers on Instagram. Got to give Henry out there a big shout out for allowing us to be a part of that great community. If you can support that as well, thank you so much for doing so. It is time. It is time for the NBA trade deadline show that we do each and every year. It's our third annual trade deadline. We're so excited to go ahead and be a part of this. The action is already rolling right around the NBA. The Lakers have already made a trade today. Will they make more? We'll talk about that. We're here for the next 2.5 hours. Oh my gosh. The question is, will my voice be done by the end of the day? I think that's the biggest question that's out there, but we'll see. It is a great cast that's with me today. We're going to start off with the man indeed who's been with me for all three of these Laker trade deadline specials. It is a good man indeed. He's the number one Lakers blogger that's out there at Lakerholics.com, along with Jamie Sweet. Go ahead and check it out today. It is Laker Tom, and Laker Tom, we've already seen a lot of action. I'll go ahead and describe as many of the trades as I can, as I will go ahead and explore the Twitterverse with Shams and Woj and all that. I want to start off with the move that I guess a lot of people are talking about right now is Thomas Bryant moving to Denver for 3 second rounders and backup guard Devon Reed, who is not averaged that much. He's averaged 2 points. shot about 36% from behind the arc, and it doesn't get very much playing time on Denver. He may get a little bit more here if they keep him. But yes, Thomas Bryant moves on. Ramona Shelbert has reported of ESPN that he was very unhappy with his playing time in recent days. So this, I don't know, clears up some space for him, although how much he's going to get as the backup to Nikola Jokic remains to be seen. Your thoughts, though, to get started with the day, a long day of trade action with what's going on with the trade of Thomas Bryant to Denver.
Well, it's fun to be here again for a third year, Gerald. And unfortunately, the last 2 years, we ended the trade deadline by doing nothing, which was, needless to say, not the kind of hope that we had going into those 2 days. We've already seen some action by the Lakers so far. This is good. I think the Thomas Bryant thing is interesting because, to me, Thomas Bryant has always been sort of like a upgraded version of Montrezl Harrell. He added a three-point shot, but it's still Montrezl Harrell. He can't play defense. And our problem is what we really need in a backup center. If AD is going to be starting at center, what we really need in a backup is somebody who can protect the rim. So I think this is a signal that, number one, we're trying to get something back for a player who had outperformed his contract. We could not re-sign him. We didn't have any bird or early bird rights on him. So we were going to lose him to free agency. He asked for a trade. So let's see what we can get out of him. We got a young guard who probably won't play, but he's got potential. He can play defense and he can shoot the three. And we get 3 second-round picks. And most importantly to me, I think we open up a slot to go out and get a rim protector, which is what we really need in a backup center. I think next to it, everybody knows that we need a 3-and-D wing defender. And I think that's where, if we use the pick, that's where it'll be used. But I do think that there is a secondary need, which is we need somebody who can protect the rim. We're not a great defensive team, and our big hope is that Anthony Davis can make the difference on the starting lineup, and he's shown at times that he can, along with inspired play from the other guys. But the second unit is, especially with Thomas Bryant in there, had become impossible to stop people. We just couldn't get stops on the second unit. So I think that this portends the Lakers hopefully lining up moves to fill the 2 biggest needs that they have. They need a legitimate 6'8", 6'9", 3-and-D wing defender, and they need a rim protector at center to back up Anthony Davis. So I like what I'm seeing so far. I think that's trending in the direction of doing that. And it'll be interesting to see. I mean, maybe with Durant coming into the Western Conference, I think that the Lakers just basically have got to realize that they need a wing defender right now. That's their biggest priority. They have to use all of their assets, and hopefully Joe Tsai was really mad at Kyrie and not necessarily the Lakers. So that hopefully we could get one of those 4 wings that they've got. They're dangling several of them out there. And if there was something that is the last piece, those last 2 pieces that we spend any of our draft capital or we make any moves, moving Walker and Beverly has to be for some defense, both at the wing and at the backup center.
Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break NBA trade deadline special. It is Gerald Glassford along with Laker Tom, and a good man
Kevin
is here
Love.
as well.
I'll vote for Kevin Love.
There you go. It is the man behind Simblades with a Y.com, and also LakersBall.com. It is Joe Soro joining us. He's drinking the Coke with Tom right there. Okay, they got their caffeine going. I can no longer partake in that, so I'll have to go live vicariously through you guys. But it is Joe Soro, and Joe.
It's different in the morning.
Really? I've always had Coke. I've always substituted Coke.
I'll drink Coke. It's got to be with a pizza or a sandwich. Unless I'm dying of thirst, sodas doesn't hit as good as when it's with food. But anyways, It still doesn't taste bad. I'm just exaggerating.
We've got a great chat going already. Everybody's waking up early in the morning, getting the news on what's
This feels
going
good.
on.
I like a little light in here. I feel like Saturday morning cartoonish type thing.
It's nice not to be doing it late at night,
Yeah, it's nice.
At the end
No,
of
you
the
got
day.
a little bit more energy, I guess.
Speak for yourself, guys.
Well, that's because you're doing it all day long.
Yeah, you're on this all day, dude. We're on it, what, 2 hours a day, maybe less than that.
Yeah.
But the Lakers
get up in the morning and probably put the headphones on before you do anything else, even.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Bathroom, brush your teeth with the headphones on.
We got to make this worthwhile for G down the road here. The trade for Bryant, I think, had to do more with the fact that the Lakers needed more assets to get a bigger deal here. I would be in shock if there isn't something done here in the next hour and 49 minutes. I just don't see them
strike out again, Joe.
Yeah, they've got 6, I believe.
The trade will happen while this show is in progress.
They essentially traded Thomas Bryant back to Washington via Denver, whatever you want to do it, for Rui, and that's really what it came. That's how it kind of went through, because they got their 3 picks back that they gave Washington. So now they have 6 second-round picks, a first pick that has to be unprotected for rule purposes. I can't remember exactly the details, but I know that the 29th pick cannot be a protected pick. It's got to be unprotected. So
it can be protected, but what happens is that if the protections work, you can't roll it over to 30. So you lose it.
That's it. I knew it was something else.
It just disappears.
So now you got 6 second-round picks and a first and 29 that you can go and find one more guy, and it's looking like it's going to have to be a big. So who's that big going to be? Toronto? Where are you? Jay Crowder Jay Crowder was worth 5 picks. It's not a coincidence that this happened.
5 seconds. 5
seconds. Sorry, 5 seconds. So
and we got how many, Joe?
We got 6.
Oh, you mean we could go out and trade expiring contracts in 5 seconds for?
Hey, that's why you got them. Let's go after it. You know, Phoenix just put a nice little dynamite in everyone's rear end. How you gonna respond? Do you guys want to compete? Does LeBron think he can go one more run here on this? Looks like the Lakers are trying to see if they can salvage the season. Well, if you're going to do it, might as well go all the way with it. Let's bring in some talent. The good thing is the talent that they have brought in, you now have the ability, since you have the bird rights, to do some things in the summer. So you're not kind of asked out there. So let's see here. I think in the next hour and 47 minutes, it's going to get very interesting here.
Yeah, it is going to get very interesting indeed. Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Gerald Glassford along with Joe Sorrell and Laker Tom. We're here for you for the next 2.5 hours. Hopefully we can get in more of the crew. I've invited everybody, as I always do, so hopefully we get some more voices in here. We got Jamie Sweet in the chat. He's at work. He said he could try to squeeze in some time, maybe on his lunch break. Zangerstein is in there. BDA Pink. We've already started with some great comments already, talking about what's going on with the Lakers. I'm going to describe some of the trades. Again, we talked about Thomas Bryant being traded to Denver. Unfortunately for Thomas Bryant, it was a great time here, having him here the short time he was. Great hustle. Going to give Denver some outside shooting as well. He gets sent to Denver along for Devon Reed, backup guard, 6'5" guard, shoots 36% for 3 and 3 second-round picks. Also, so far today, we've seen Philadelphia and Portland and Charlotte in a 3-way trade. Poor Svi Mihajlovic. It's the second time in less than 24 hours he's been traded. So Philadelphia gets Jalen McDaniels. Portland gets Matisse Thybulle, a very good defensive guard. Charlotte gets Svi Mihajlovic and multiple second-round picks. For Milwaukee and Brooklyn, they've been very active so far this morning. Milwaukee traded for Jay Crowder with Brooklyn for 5 second-round picks. Boston acquired Mike Muscala from Oklahoma City for Justin Jackson and 2 second-round picks. And then, of course, I've heard as far as George Hill being traded to Indiana. That's, I think, I confirmed that coming up here in a bit. That's not been updated on the tracker I've got right here, but I've seen that in the chat. Phoenix, of course, the big trade last night with Kevin Durant and TJ Warren for Brooklyn's Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, 4 first-round picks, and a 2028 first-round pick swap. Also last night, under the radar, which we didn't get to, was Jakob Poeltl. He's going back to Toronto for San Antonio's Khem Birch. They get Khem Birch, 2024 first and 2 future seconds. Josh Hart was traded to New York for Cam Reddish, everybody's seemingly favorite player that they want on this team. I have no idea why. Ryan Arcidiacono and RCD Kono is his name. I'm sorry. Svi Mihailik was his first time he was traded, and 2023 first round pick. I wonder what his agent was telling him in the past 24 hours. Stay at home, and we'll tell you where to go at the end of the day. And then, of course, the big trade that we got, D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt for Mike Conley being traded to Minnesota. Nickeil Alexander were being traded to Minnesota. JTA is going to Minnesota. Damian Jones is going to Minnesota. And a 2024, 25, and 26 second-round draft pick is going to Minnesota. Utah gets Russell Westbrook and the Lakers' first-round 2027 pick, which is top 4 protected. And then start off with Kessler Edwards going to Sacramento for the draft rights to David Michino. And then Dwayne Dedman also got traded to San Antonio for cash consideration. So that was pretty much before everything after the Kyrie Irving trade. Again, there's still lots of trades right and left. I'm trying to monitor it best we can, guys, on Twitter. Hopefully everybody in the chat is keeping up as well. We truly appreciate it. Everybody's talking about John Collins as a possibility. Eduardo is. That's a good possibility. But, Joe, getting back to you before I hit back to Laker Tom, when it comes to what you're still looking for, we need to acquire. Gary Trent was on your hot list last night. Do you still have hopes we can go ahead and get him?
Well, the issue now is you don't have size that can come off the bench. I know Thomas Bryant isn't, next level big, but he did serve some good skill sets off the bench, which is ultimately what his value would have been, is a really, really dependable backup big. A starter, I don't think he'll ever really truly be a starter. His defensive play is just too much in the D's, the D minuses. But there needs to be some size now. Otherwise, if Darvin Ham can't help himself, he's going to continue to put out those midget lineups that we hate. And if we don't move Beverly, it's going to be even worse because he'll keep starting that guy. Mm-hmm. So Rob needs to go into this thinking about, again, who he has calling the shots. You have to sometimes, it reminds me of that scene in Moneyball when the A's manager would not stop playing Pena. Of course, he was the best player at the time. And Billy Bean's like, dude, stop playing him at first. We need this guy at first. And I believe it was Art Howe was the manager, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace, great actor. And finally, Billy Bean had to trade his best player to finally stop him from not playing him. And I feel like we're in that spot.
That's a great example, Joe.
Yeah, we have to stop playing these small lineups. It's not freaking working.
Yeah.
So we needed big, and we needed big at this point right now in a very, 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 very important way. So how that plays out, boy, maybe a little bit of my instincts say it's going to be a surprise who they get, but I'm still looking at Toronto, though. I'm still looking at what's going on in Toronto.
It's not out of the question that if they had an opportunity, let's say, to trade for Gary Trent Jr. And the thing about trading for Gary Trent Jr. or any of the Toronto guys is that you're going to have to give them that 2029 pick. And it probably makes sense if there's a point in time. I mean, if you look around the league, the picks that have been traded now that have been unprotected have included several 2029 picks. and it's because you can't roll it over to 30. So if you put protections on it, the protections don't have that rollover thing. So if they get protected, they can, all you can do is revert them to a second round draft pick, which is also an interesting point, which is what Pelinka did on that first round pick that he gave away, the 27 pick. If that 27 pick doesn't actually is protected, he loses it, slides back to a second round pick, man. That was a well done deal. But the Lakers have a choice here because we've got really, and it's the decision that oftentimes the Lakers split the baby. You know, it's like we don't have enough to do two things, but we need two things. And so they want to cut it in half. So the two things are, you need a wing defender to guard Kevin Durant, and you need a backup center who can protect the rim. Now, you probably can't get both of them with the best person in each one of them. I mean, one thought is to go for a guy like Mo Bamba. You know, we might be able to get Mo Bamba with 3 second-round picks and expiring salaries. It's possible, you know. And the thing I like about Mo Bamba is that he's a stretch 5, that he can hit that outside shot. And he's also gives us a versatility because I think he's a guy who could start right next to Anthony Davis, or he could be the backup. So there are some lineups where I'd like to see us have in there next to AD when he's playing against certain teams. And so to have that ability to have a center, a backup center who can actually be your starter, and you can slide everybody down a notch when you need to in order to match up better, I think makes a lot of sense. But the other side of it is most people would say that, especially with Durant coming to the West, that and all of the guys you got that just constantly kill you with threes and with those mid-range jump shots that they must shoot about 80% against our 6'1" guards. Now we got 6'4" guards, but neither one of them is a great defender. So if we could get a real wing, you know, I mean, I suppose any of those 4 wings that Josiah has, you know, if he can direct his anger toward Kyrie and not toward the Lakers organization, maybe we could pick off one of those guys. I think that'd be great. I'd be willing to go up and tell Toronto, you know, I'll tell you what, we'll give you a first round, we'll give you an unprotected first round pick, and I'll give you a pick swap for the year before that, 28 and 29. So you get whichever we got there, you know, in order to get Anunoby. I think that would obviously be the grand slam thing. And the thing is that, yeah, you gave 4 unprotected picks for Kevin Durant, but that's Kevin Durant, man. And anybody who thinks that you're really going to get 3 picks for Anunoby is crazy. And most of the talk about those is that you get 3 picks for Anunoby because they dump some other contract on you that you got to take that you normally would give up a pick for. So that's how you get some sort of equivalent of 3 picks. So I think the Lakers have some great decisions to make. And I have to say, you know, I've at various times put out the comparison that Rob Pelinka could finish this off and really have a master class on how to be a general manager. Or he could make a stupid decision. You know, it's like it just seems like almost every general manager, just because of how difficult it is how capricious it is to judge players sometimes and what their potential is and what their fit is and what they can do and so forth, because every GM has made some monumental mistakes, and most of the decisions that we criticize Rob for maybe weren't his fault. You know, maybe he was told by Jeannie, no, you can't re-sign Alex Caruso, you know, or you got to trade, and maybe the coaches have been told, as we've known, maybe for some reason Beverly, in order to, you know, after the trade, you know, they have some arrangement or somebody promised him something. Obviously that happens, and the coach doesn't have any control, and he's got to play him until, like you said, Joe, until the general manager decides the only way out of this predicament is to trade the SOB and get him out of here, you know. Pat's got to go. I also think it's partly because of that same type of chaos that he creates that Russ created. We want a team that's disciplined, I mean, and you can't be disciplined if you got guys like that.
Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break. I do want to update the Jay Crowder trade, I guess, also as well as Serge Ibaka, who's been, I guess, similar to what we're seeing with Jay Crowder, who was held out, ongoing situation, looking to see if he can get traded. Did finally get traded as well. So he was part of that deal. So he is going to Brooklyn Nets along with 5 second-rounders for Jay Crowder in that deal. Still plenty going on. Just want to update everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. It is the Lakers Fast Break. Once again, Thomas Bryant has been traded from the Lakers to the Denver Nuggets for 3 second-round picks and Devon Reed. The Pacers also want to make sure to let everybody know that Indiana is acquiring the Bucks' Jordan Nwora. I like him. He's been a good player for them. And 2 second-rounders to Indiana. Indiana's also waiving Goga Batadze, so he's going to be a big man that's out there. So we'll see what happens with that as far as maybe him being picked up by another team. Again, Boston is sending Justin Jackson and 2 second-round picks to OKC for Mike Muscala. A lot of things going
we should
on.
have got Muscala, man. I hate to see him in Celtics green.
Well, he was in Lakers purple and gold. You saw how that was. So, yeah, we traded Zubats for that. One of the worst trades. The Mr. Master Class. That's not one of his finest trades as well. We got burned on that. That's for sure. But it is, again, the Lakers Fast Break. Angel, a new face that's out there. Truly, thank you for watching and listening what we're doing here at the Lakers Fast Break. Joe, your thoughts so far? We haven't seen, I think, yet what we really want to see with the Lakers getting a little bit more size, a little bit better, even more shooting, maybe a little more defense around the wing. We haven't seen that as of yet. Your thoughts so far on what the Lakers can still do with an hour and a half left?
The intriguing current news is talks started yesterday, apparently, the Knicks and Chicago for Zach LaVine. Chicago is another one that we want to look at to see how things play out there. Vucevic is a very interesting. We've thrown that name around, and he's on a last year contract as well. So, if I had a question for that particular player for you, Gerald and Tom, would you say Vucevic is on par with a Jay Crowder?
No.
Would you say he's better?
Well, offensively, he's better. He's an excellent offensive center, but he's really not a rim protector.
Okay. So we're going to have to make a decision here on, do we want a big who can shoot and not play good defense, which is pretty much what
I think the priority probably is someone who can protect the rim, because Thomas Bryant proved he could be a force offensively, and he's a good stretch center. He shoots a 3 really well. And nobody can, people think I'm a Thomas Bryant hater, but I'm not. It's just that he plays hard. If everybody on the team played as hard as Thomas Bryant did, we wouldn't have the problems that we've been having. But the truth of the matter is he just doesn't have the quickness or the lift to get to protect the rim or to make steals. I mean, it's usually just luck of his height and so forth. So we need to improve that. I think that pretty doggone close to being equally important to have a wing stopper and to have a second rim protector. But the wing stopper probably is the most important, and that's me saying that, who's really heavily prejudiced toward a rim protector. I mean, JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard did something for that team. You could not. I mean, it wasn't. The mistake is people think it wasn't Kyle Kuzma and KCP that were preventing guys from getting to the basket. It was the big centers that we had there, the size that we had. We always had size on the floor, and we always dominated in the paint. Yeah, that's where we have to get back to. If we can add shooting to that, which was what we've been using to win a few games, we've been using free throws for attacking the rim and points in the paint to offset that deficit that we lose a 3-point shooting battle every time. there was a couple of interesting little tweets that I saw that I thought I'd bring up about Russell Westbrook leaving. McMenamin compared it to removing a vampire from the room. And then there was another report that had Russell Westbrook not been traded, he would have been sent home. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Who said that at the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
I wonder. Joe Soro, maybe?
We're just armchair.
I said I'm sure I said that because I said every possible thing.
We're just
in one. Yes, I think
we're just armchair point guards, guys, sitting on our chairs, judging people, criticizing people for something that apparently only a few people out there do. That's the interpretation sometimes. Look, man, Van Gundy never played in the NBA. Bill Belichick never played in the NFL. Okay, we have plenty of coaches down the road, that have done very well in sports that never played in the NBA. At some point, you analyze and watch. And I mean, I didn't play in the NBA, but I played basketball. I've run the system. I've done the flex offense. I've never done the triangle, but I know a little bit about basketball. I've done it. I've been an athlete up until my 30s, really. I mean, I can still play basketball now and play tennis and play golf, but obviously not at the ability of when I was 30, right, or below. But the key here is we've been doing this too long. And I say doing this as in we've been watching, analyzing, critiquing, and praising this sport and many other sports. We know what we're talking about. We know what players fit. We're not in the practices, but we're pretty darn close. The Lakers right now are. I'm trying to figure out if they're sitting in their offices right now going, we just fixed a really, really bad decision. And they did. They really, really did. The next question now is there a shot of them competing deep into the playoffs? Because when you have Anthony Davis and LeBron James, that's all that's left right now. That is the question. And how that plays out in the next hour and a half is really going to dictate this near future situation for the Lakers.
Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break. We're here live for NBA trade deadline special. Laker Tom looks so happy now this year. There's no red face. There's no getting angry. There's no, frustration. I mean, we're going to,
it'll be a 3 Cokes session today.
Yes.
No limits on Laker Tom's caffeine.
There you go. Celebrate right there for you. Absolutely. 3 Cokes indeed. Actually, Joe might have more during that time. I need a Coke, that's for sure. But it is the Lakers Fast Break live watch party right here for you, the NBA trade deadline. We truly appreciate you being part of what we're doing here, checking out what's going on. There's still, some movement that's going on around the league. I did report to you as far as the different trades that are going on right now with the latest update on the Jay Crowders. That Jay Crowder.
Nothing in Toronto, huh?
Nothing as of yet. I'm sure something's got to materialize here soon. Of course, Toronto did trade for Jakob Poeltl.
They were the Kyle Lowry. Remember the Kyle Lowry thing, though? Toronto's the team that screwed us over, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jakob Poeltl was the only trade that they've done so far that I've seen.
That's the one they want to do, dog.
Jay Crowder goes to the Bucks for 5 second-rounders and Serge Ibaka. Zangerstein says, go get Goga Patadze. I was a little bit surprised because he is a first-round draft choice by Indiana that he got waived. And as someone who could provide some size for a team, maybe the Lakers, that'd be interesting. I'm with you on that, Z. I'd like to see if we could still, have time to see if we can get him developed, but we'll see where he goes. Zangerstein says, in the Philippines, Zangerstein. There you go. Absolutely. I never knew. That's awesome. Como está ka? Hopefully everybody okay in the Philippines. Truly appreciate all of our contingents out there. My wife is Filipino, so
we gotta create a Pinoy mafia down there, man.
Oh, absolutely. There's such a great fan base. The Filipino fan base for the Lakers. Truly truly welcome and just appreciate everybody in the Philippines that supports us here at the Lakers Fast Break. But Zangerstein, great to have you here. Also, as well, everybody else as well. Eduardo, I do want to thank Angel for subscribing on Twitch. You saw that magical little notification right there on screen. That was him subscribing. So we cannot thank you enough for doing so. Truly appreciate it. Jamie Sweet still in the chat. I don't know if he's doing any work, but who cares? There you go. Hopefully he can join us live on his lunch break. Luca's in the chat as well. Truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for being a part of what we do here. Got a nice crowd. Can we get it bigger? Can we get it more? We've been able to go ahead and get some great numbers the past couple of years. Hopefully this will do the same. All right, Zangerstein. All right, thank you so much. Absolutely. We'd love to go ahead and hear from you. If you do come to the U.S., absolutely. We'd love to go ahead and meet you in person. I think Joe and Tom and I would love to go ahead and say hello and thank you for all your support. It is, again, the Lakers Fast Break. So much going on right now with the NBA trade deadline. Do we see it as far as moves going on right now? That's what I'm thinking. Right now, it's like a holding pattern because we haven't hit the nitty-gritty as far as the last hour, the final hour is concerned. Zangerstein says, yes, Joe, when my mom visited the U.S., she stayed in Vegas and had time in L.A. Oh, there you go. All right. So, yeah.
Yeah, my buddy Kevin has been trying to get me to go to the Philippines, and there's been logistical barriers on my end with work, so I haven't been able to go there. But I think I might be, with the way the Lakers Fast Break's popularity is growing over there, we might have to make a trip over there and say hello to everyone, maybe do a show in the Philippines once I do visit, because I do want to visit. My buddy goes there twice a year. He has a friend there.
I told you my wife's from the Philippines. She's from
so
Mindoro.
There's a future. There's a future there, Z. You will see. I'm pretty sure you will see me there at some point because I would have gone this last January, but the rains here just backed up so many things that I had to stay back and finish up some things to prepare for February and March. But there is a future where I will be in the Philippines at some point. You got it, Z. I will.
But yeah, actually, I will probably, hopefully, get out there myself. Maybe
I'll try to hitch a ride with G. Gerald.
There you go. Yeah, because I know we want to go out there as well as the.
Well, you should do the show from there, then, Gerald.
That's it.
Yeah,
yes,
that's what we're going to try and do. Sounds good.
We'll work remotely from here.
So the current situation in New York with the Bulls for Zach LaVine could open up some things if
DeMar DeRozan to the Lakers.
Oh boy.
They could do it.
Oh, Vucevic, and how about Vucevic and
we don't have
enough money. I know.
No.
It would have to be like a 14 trade.
But if you put together Beverly's 13, Lonnie's 6.5, that's 19.5. You got to throw in a couple of, the JDA's gone. We might have to get rid of Brown and a couple of guys to tie into that. And the way you can do that, though, Joe, here's the thing. This is the key. The Lakers have a trade that's open. They can add on to that trade. When you do a multiple team trade, the salary matching becomes all of a sudden, because salary matching is always based on a percentage of the total.
Sure.
So if you're trading one player for one player, that's really firm. But if you throw 3 or 4 players on there, all of a sudden and you put 2 or 3 teams in there, all of a sudden it's easy to match. So they can do a deal with DeRozan by tagging it onto the existing trade.
I know we want Caruso.
That doesn't help our defense, though. That's the problem.
Well, hey, look, I'm going to fantasize for the next hour and 20 minutes. Imagine a Vucevic Caruso trade to LA. Imagine that. I don't know. I'm going to hope that there's a big that's coming back. If Rob can put a big,
well, we have to have one. We only got one center now.
If they get a Vucevic, then that's going to be the one that makes sense, not only from a talent standpoint. I know defense will still kind of be a problem, but you can shift AD to center if you need to use that card. But the great thing about that setup is, again, it goes with what they've been talking about not wanting contracts beyond 2023, which is what Vucevic has. He's got a $22 million contract this year.
I think they're gonna look to the buyout market for big men. I think the centers. I think that's what's going to happen. I would go the other way, but I think that they have to get somebody to guard these bigger wings that are killing us. The Paul Georges and the Kawhis and now the Kevin Durants. That's the single biggest priority that we have. It's the single biggest reason to spend that 2029 pick and make it unprotected, and to go after Anunoby. Give him another. Give him Christie. Give him a pick swap for 2028. The pick swap for a situation like what the Lakers are in, when you're talking about post LeBron times, that's as good as a pick. That's as good as getting the pick itself. I mean, they normally say that pick swaps are worth about a third of a pick, because half of the time you don't get any benefit. Half of the time they're about even, and one out of three, you'll get a swap with somebody who's going to give you a really good pick. But the Lakers, I think they got to go after Anunoby. I think that Gary Trent Jr. is a good enough potential defender at the two, because he averages like 1.5 steals a game, that they could probably say that he's enough of an upgrade that they would take him if they get a deal. And then I think that there's a bunch of small deals involving these seconds that they're gathering. They could make a trade for, Beverly for 2 or 3 people that could really be helpful. They could take a minimum contract and Walker's $6.5 million and trade for, Nerlens Noel, for example, and that would solve the backup center problem. So there's a lot of options. I'm really interested to see what Pelinka does, because I think he realizes now that everybody's gone all in this trade deadline. Unlike the last 2 years, this has been a monster trade deadline. We've never seen trades of the magnitude that we've seen happen this time, with just like 27 games left to finish the year. It's going to throw the whole thing into chaos, on top of the parity that everybody has. All of a sudden, now we've created there's 5 teams in the West that the Lakers are going to be hard pressed to get above.
The NBA made up for their dull summer.
Yeah,
by,
no kidding.
In a lot of ways, overshadowing Super Bowl week. I honestly, until Sean sent me a message about 30 minutes ago, I had not even been thinking about the Super Bowl. All I've been thinking about is what's been going on in the NBA. So If I'm a sports guy, and I love football more than any sport, basketball's just this much below football, right? Just this much. Sorry, this much. There you go.
I've been thinking about the Super Bowl because I recorded Inside Sports Fantasy Football, which you can actually.
I honestly have not. I have not, and a lot of it too is the fact that the coverage is so oversaturated. So, what did you do last night?
Mine's still good. You got to check it out. Inside Sports Fantasy.
The only thing you wait for.
Mine just depends entirely on whether my team's there or not.
This is the part of the NBA that trumps all sports, is the activity of free agency and trades. And they made up
fans, there's nothing to get fans more interested and more hopeful than the fact that they can trade the guys that are on their team for guys they like.
I'm going to use an analogy, and Gerald will appreciate this. It's similar to the WWE /WWF WCW swaps. You remember how exciting it was when Chris Jericho left WCW to go to the WWE?
Yes.
And Scott Hall, everyone knew Scott Hall and Nash were going to be going to the WCW. It kind of gives you that, oh my God, they're going to the next thing. I wonder what's going to happen. The West, which was kind of dull here for the first 3/4 of the season, all of a sudden now becomes relevant again to another level. I mean, I'm serious. Since Jordan has retired, the East has been terrible, absolutely terrible in owning, just dominating the other conference. The Western Conference, even though they haven't won every title since '99, they seem to have the better teams and better setup. I don't know. It's going to be really, really fun after 12 o'clock today to really start figuring out what the next steps are, especially if the Lakers are able to sustain one more trade that can be beneficial for their team.
Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break NBA trade deadline special live right here with Laker Tom and Joe Soro, aka Ox1947. Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate you watching and listening. We've got people from all around the world checking us out right here on YouTube, also Twitch, Trovo, Twitter, everywhere we're at. Please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe today wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it. We'll also be on tonight on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. And of course, the best post game in town right there for you at the Lakers Fast Break after the game against the Bucks. My gosh, we got a busy day ahead of us. Right now, it seems like there's a little bit of lull in the action, guys, because I don't see anything reported from Shams or
Three
Rhodes
first for Levine is the deal now.
Well, I haven't seen that confirmed yet. That's just rumors at this point in time, so I can't see anything confirmed unless Shams and Woj reports it. I can't touch it yet, so we're not going to go ahead and. I remember those fake trades that you kept on reporting on those past couple of years, Tom. I'm like, no.
I've been looking for a fake trade to report, but there haven't been any coming up.
Yeah, so no fake trades yet. No fake trades. But
another trade to look out for with the Lakers is it would be contracts beyond 2023, but they're somewhat small, which would be Orlando with Mo Bamba and Gary Harris. I believe Mo Bamba makes 13 million. No, Gary Harris makes 13 and Mo Bamba's at 10.5.
10.5.
Yeah. So you have enough money there to trade some Bevan, Walker, and those types to possibly get that deal. Obviously,
they get 19, so you'd have to make up the other 4.
Yeah, the draft picks will probably cover a little bit of that.
Picks don't count, but they'll have to throw in a couple of minimum salary guys.
Yeah. So that would be kind of killing two birds with one stone. You get your big and you get another, guard that can shoot.
Sure, Jamie.
And now we're sitting at a pretty good spot when it comes to having a team of 2 stars with really good role players that know their roles. And we're going to need Ham to stop playing baloney lineups.
No more small guard lineups. 3 small guard lineups, please. No more 3 small guard lineups.
That just came out. I didn't write that anywhere, by the way.
I know, but for the sake of everyone here in the chat, Zangerstein, Tom, you, me, no more 3 small guard lineups. Just really cannot stand them, man. Just they're annoying, poor on defense. They don't shoot well, so I'm hoping that at least the Beverly situation can be solved by the end of this trade deadline. That's the one I'm hoping for most because I think he's such a detriment to your team right now. As a 6'1" guard, I don't know why this infatuation for him to constantly play people that are 7-8 inches taller than him who could still easily shoot over him. He is not the guy.
Avery Bradley gave him this little token that has a magical power that keeps you in the starting lineup.
Yeah, it seems to be that as far as a favorite for Darvin Ham as he once was for Frank Vogel, which unfortunately is kind of disappointing. It's been quiet, like Zangerstein said, for the past 30 minutes. So we're really trying to go ahead and see what we can do to fill up the space. Hopefully we're going to get a flurry of action here in the last and final hour of the trade deadline. Want to update everybody who's just jumping in now on what has been going on so far. What we have as far as the trade deadline per CBS Sports. Going to go ahead and give them props right here. Got Philadelphia, Portland, and Charlotte with a 3-way trade. Jalen McDaniels goes to Philadelphia. Matisse Thybulle goes to Portland and Charlotte for the second trade in less than 24 hours. Can he get traded for a third time? We'll find out. Svi Mihalik and multiple second-round picks. Also, as well, you had Denver getting Thomas Bryant from the Lakers for Devon Reed, a backup 6'5" guard, shoots 36% from behind the arc, and 3 second-round picks. For Milwaukee, they get Jay Crowder for Serge Ibaka and 5 second-round picks. Also, as well, Milwaukee sent out, I think they sent out George Hill, for a second-rounder, if I'm not mistaken. So to Indiana. So Indiana gets George Hill and a second rounder. I know that also Indiana waived Goga Batadze. Also, as well, Boston acquired Mike Muscala for Justin Jackson and 2 second-round picks from Oklahoma City. Phoenix obviously got the big trade: Kevin Durant and TJ Warren for Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, 4 first-round picks, and a 2028 first-round pick swap. You had Toronto last night. It was under the radar, but Jakob Poeltl is now going back to Toronto. He heads there for Kem Birch going to San Antonio, a 2024 first-round pick that's protected, and 2 future second-round picks. And Josh Hart was traded to New York and the Knicks for Cam Reddish, Ryan Arcidi Kono, Svi Mihalik, and that was the first time he was traded, and a 2023 first-round draft pick. So we're still waiting for some action going on. Guys, I'm still hoping for something else. I don't think it'll be complete trade for the Lakers if they don't make another trade. Still got to do something with Patrick Beverley's contract. Still got to do something to hopefully with Lonnie Walker, because Lonnie Walker, since he came back from the injury, has been lost, MIA. He's really not been able to find any footing. So I think it's maybe time to get a fresh start for him as well. Are you disappointed because he started off the season so well, Tom?
Yeah. No, not really. I think that there was financial and roster construction reasons why you had to move Russ. You know, even if we didn't trade any of the picks, there was nothing, you know, we couldn't do anything with it as long as they're in. And then I think that, you know, I was just browsing through all of the comments of how this vampire, Russ is a vampire, has taken off and become viral now. It's just hilarious, you know. They should have done it a long time ago. Obviously, we all know that. But it's kind of ironic that right after they did it, Zach LaVine came on the market. That was great, I think. Thank God. Otherwise, if he'd come on the market a half an hour earlier, you know, or last night.
We have a trade, Tom. You know, we talked about this name. We talked about this guy, Bones Highland. The Nuggets are traded Bones Highland to the Clippers. I don't know what for yet, but that's per Adrian Wojnarowski. So Bones Highland is going to the Clippers.
And that's where Russ is going to end up.
Well, we'll see.
He'll be in the same building, man.
Yes. Yes, that's where I want him to go. Please. Just like his game on the court, his presence in the locker room.
I think it would be terrific for him to go. I'd like him to go to the Clippers for the same reason, Joe.
Oh, he would implode that place so quickly, especially Kawhi. Oh my God! Please go to the Clippers.
Those blowing layups and turnovers at the wrong moment.
Yep, that's
and he would be eager to shoot those threes to prove that he can make them. I'm going to show the Lakers I'm going to shoot the threes every time I'm running down the court.
So that's what I have right now is Bones Highland to the Clippers. And the Oklahoma City Thunder, according to Shams Charania, are trading Darius Baisley to the Phoenix Suns for Dario Saric and a second-round pick. So Phoenix is trying to probably get some depth for them because they need it because of what happened with Kevin Durant. So they are trading for Dario Saric and a second-round pick. So we'll see. Starting to get some more activity, kind of like that. Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break NBA Live Trade Deadline Special. Got Joe Soro and Laker Tom here. Great to have you here. Zangerstein says, "What? Why didn't Denver deal Bones?" You know, his name's been out there for the past 24, 48 hours as someone that is probably going to be traded. I thought he was good in Denver too. I thought he was a better defender too, but for some reason they just felt the need to trade him. I guess there may be something more going on than meets the eye. Maybe it's an issue with his playing time. Maybe he's unhappy like Thomas Bryant was. Not sure. I wish Denver Nuggets baby was here from last night. He could probably let us know exactly what was going on with that to get the insight on why Bones Highland was suddenly made available after he showed so much promise last season and coming into this season. Got to be the shoes. It's just waiting on that blockbuster AD trade. I think you're going to have to keep on waiting for that at least until the summer because I don't think he's going to get traded in the next hour unless somebody really gets desperate and really wants to make a big splash. and trade the whole farm out there for AD. So I don't think that's going to happen. We'll see, though. Again, the latest trades that have happened are Darius Baisley going from the Thunder to the Suns for Dario Saric and a second-round pick. I don't have all the specifics on Bones Highland, so we'll see. But the Pacers are acquiring Bucks guard George Hill and a second-round pick. So that's also another trade that was under the radar as well. So I'm trying to find out exactly what's going on. Clippers will send the Nuggets 2024 and 2025 second-round picks for Bones Highland. I think that's a good deal for the Clippers, personally. The Warriors are trading James Wiseman. So the experiment at the number 2 draft pick is over for one of Tom's favorites, Sadiq Bey. Sources tell ESPN. I'm not sure I'm liking that one for the Warriors. I don't know if I would have done that.
Sadiq's good.
James Wiseman, I think we would have given another year. I think we were just to see if he would be able to develop.
Yeah, but listen, they've been pushing him, and they wouldn't have given up on him if they weren't really sure.
Wiseman's a bust, folks. I'm sorry.
And I think I love Bay. I mean, he was basically, I was willing to make any pick I had for them to, just to get him added to the deal. He was always the sweetener that I wanted for going unprotected.
It's funny. Imagine if the Clippers traded Reggie Jackson to Denver and then brought in Russ.
Yeah, they are going to bring Russ in.
Terrence Mann has done a pretty good job, even though
we've inserted Russ as our secret weapon against the Clippers this year.
Yes. Hopefully that'll be the case. But
that was probably reason enough to trade him.
Yes, but we'll see where Russell Westbrook ends up. It is once again the Lakers Fast Break Live NBA trade deadline special. Bay is hold on.
Wait, what? He's going to Atlanta?
Bay is on the way to Atlanta. Okay, I got to see this. So it's on a multi-team trade. So I guess Sadiq Bey is on the way to Atlanta instead of Golden State. I guess Detroit is getting James Wiseman. So this is actually happening real time. So I wanted to go ahead and make sure everybody
Hawks
knows.
Sending 5-second picks to the Warriors to acquire Bay.
Okay.
No, I might have sent 5 picks for Bay.
Yeah, the Hawks are sending 5 second-round picks to the Warriors to acquire Bay. Bay is on the way to Atlanta.
5 picks in the second round is the market right now, guys. So if the Lakers want to get a big, that seems to be the number.
But this is kind of weird with the Pistons gambling on James Wiseman when they already have a young Jalen Duren there that they drafted in the first round as another big man.
The Pistons don't run like a. They run like a.
Maybe they'll buy out Nerlens Noel and we can get them.
They have guys that can't even run a dry cleaning service, let alone a basketball team. They're terrible. They can't even. I don't know what's going to happen. I bet you there's one thing. If you go talk to Victor Wembanyama and you're like, hey man, what's the one spot you prefer not to go? I bet you it'd be Detroit.
Something like that. But yeah, so far I have as far as the Warriors are
more like sad boys.
James Wiseman to the Pistons for Sadiq Bey, and that is Sadiq Bey is going to Atlanta, and Atlanta is sending the Warriors 5 second-round picks. So right now, what I'm seeing is that Atlanta. James Wiseman is only worth, that's a number 2 pick in the draft, 3 years ago? He is worth 5 second-round picks. So that's where it's at. I don't know. I would have given him another year to try and develop him and see what we got. But yeah, also as well, again, the Bones Highland is being traded to the Clippers. That really doesn't solve their point guard problem. I know Terrence Mann has been pretty good for them, but not, I guess, to the level of what they needed as far as a point guard, because I know that gets talked about as far as the Clippers are concerned. Russell Westbrook is also being talked about being bought out and heading there. So we'll see if that happens. Miss Jamie Sweet says, Wiseman was expendable for Golden State. They're looking to not pay half the bill in taxes. Well, you're right. They've got a lot in taxes they have to worry about. So I guess it was a monetary decision with him. Kind of weird that they go ahead again, that number 2 draft choice that they go ahead and bail out on. So they must know something we don't. Again, with Bones Highland, I'd like to know more about Bones Highland. So I'd love to get a Denver Nuggets fan here. So if you know any Denver Nuggets fans, jump on in. Denver Nuggets, baby, I wish you were here. If you're coming in to the chat, please let us know why Bones Highland was such a hot commodity over the past 48 hours on being a hot and heavy trade rumor, which ultimately got fixated on by the Clippers, and ultimately Bones Highland heads the Clippers. So Clippers aren't done. According to Jamie Sweetbalmer, it's going to trade Ty Lue for Ham. Okay. That's what you say, Jamie. All right. Lucas says, why do people still trade for George Hill? Oh, my. George Hill, God bless him. He's still in the league. He still gets, finds a place in the league, can still hit the three. Obviously he's not as spry and quick as he once was, but still finding a place on rosters. I'm sure he'll get bought out at Indiana because I don't think he's going to stay in Indiana, but we'll see what happens there. We're monitoring it in real time right here for you at the Lakers Fast Break on what's going on with this trade. Again, with the latest trade that we see is the Warriors trading James Wiseman to the Pistons for Sadiq Bey, who goes to Atlanta. Atlanta's sending the Warriors 5 second-rounders. Again, it's kind of a puzzling trade still to me, but yes, it could be money involved is what Jamie's saying as far as the tax, because we know how far above the tax the Warriors are right now. The Oklahoma City Thunder are trading Darius Bazley to the Phoenix Suns for Dario Saric and a second-round pick. So right now it's all filler trades. No big names are still transferring at this time. It's 1 hour left, guys. Tom, do you think there's going to be any big trades, big names moving in the next hour?
John Collins hasn't been moved.
Mm-hmm.
He's logical to go. And we haven't heard anything more from the Raptors. I mean, that's they got their one big guy they wanted in Pirtle, but I still think that they've got two guys that they're going to lose to free agency or be forced to sign and trade. They're both guys, Fred VanVleet. I haven't heard any action on Fred VanVleet, and I haven't heard anything on Gary Trent Jr. It's like dark, like a black hole there. And then I haven't heard anything about the Lakers at all talking to the Nets. I'm wondering if Josiah, blames us for Kyrie and has put us into the same category.
They get blamed as Lakers for something you're dumb with.
I mean, they basically, it was funny. They could have gotten a lot more for Kyrie than they did. They did the whole trade. They did the whole let's get rid of KD and Kyrie backwards. Remember before when they were talking about Kyrie trading him? They wouldn't trade him until they knew what was going to happen with KD because they had to trade KD first. This is like sniper time. I mean, it's like all of a sudden Zach LaVine is available like to one team to nobody else. There was no bidding war or anything. He's just all of a sudden, oh, yeah, New York. Okay, Ray. Same thing with the Suns. I didn't hear about any big bidding war for, it was like, I got him on the phone and he said, yes, man, we got him. It's just been a wacko trade deadline compared to the last 2 years. Gerald and I were sitting here with morose faces trying to figure out what the hell to talk about after, you complained for 59 minutes. At least you want to be positive for a minute. But this time, I'm feeling good. I hope we make another move. I really do hope we make another move.
We do need to make another move.
History tells me that we won't. That's what happens when you always look at the glass half empty. No, there's not going to be a trade. Never. It's never going to happen.
One more trade that's been done, just filler trade. The Hawks are trading Justin Holiday and Frank Kaminsky to Houston for Garrison Matthews and Bruno Fernando. Again, another filler trade there. For the Lakers, again, we did trade Thomas Bryant away for Devon Reed, a backup guard, and 3 second-round picks. Hopefully we can go ahead and maybe do some a little bit more shopping before we head on out. Jamie Sweet says the Warriors are saving close to $130 million in the Wiseman deal because of all the taxes and the repeater taxes involved. If that's the case, I can understand that kind of motivation, especially for someone who has not panned out yet. Again, and the Pistons get someone who can still show a lot of promise, still very young. So we'll see what happens there. But kind of just weird that they would go ahead and trade, the Pistons would, especially when they have a young developing center in Jalen Duren, who has shown some promise coming off the bench for the Detroit Pistons. So we'll see what happens.
Why wouldn't they want Bay? Why would they? You got to feel that Weissman was worth at least Bay rather than 5 seconds.
I don't know. I guess Sadiq Bey just for whatever reason, Sadiq Bey has got some promise, shoots well from behind the arc, but as a forward, I guess for some reason the Pistons just did not feel as. I think
but the Warriors should have asked for Bay. Why would they even need to have another team involved?
Right now it looks like they're saving tax. They're saving tax right now. They may or may not be folding in the season because of Curry being out a month with a knee injury. So, is that a sign that the Warriors are giving up at this point in time, or trying to run with what they have? That could be the possibility.
The Steph Curry injury now. The Steph Curry injury is a bigger problem than people think.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson has lost a step. Obviously, half his leg was shredded the last few years. Weissman is a bust. I'm sorry, but he is. Jordan Poole, Draymond Green. Jordan Poole is their most talented young player. Young as in younger than Steph and Klay. And Draymond is about as finished as a used dish rag. They really, really blew their wad last year. We were able to win the title. Thank you, Golden State, for doing that, because it kept us from watching the Celtics win it all. And I am sure that if the Celtics had faced anyone other than the Warriors, the Celtics would have won the championship last year. So they did their job. They won the title, and I think this is the last one for the Curry Thompson era with Draymond Green. And unfortunately, their second round overall pick, Weissman, was the wrong pick. They picked the wrong guy there. We know why they picked him, but he just was not. He's not talented enough to play in the NBA.
For their own need rather than the best talent.
And that's something Tom Landry used to always talk about. And Tom Landry said, I don't care what is there. We pick the best player available. And we all know what happened to Portland in 1984 when they picked Sam Bowie.
Yeah,
I'll leave that to when you have somebody like Bobby Knight being very adamant about pick Michael Jordan, and then them saying, well, who's going to play center? Him saying, put him at center. You listen to Bobby Knight in the 70s and 80s. Bobby Knight knew exactly what he was doing then, because he never had a good thing to say. I never saw him say anything close to what he said about Michael Jordan. That time, before that time, or after. I had never seen that kind of compliment, and that should have signaled things for you. But again, not Bob Myers might not be. Hey, Bob Myers checking out might have been what caused the rift. Maybe there was a difference in opinion, and ownership or whatever scouting said, "Look, dude, don't get Weissman. He's not good enough. No, we need to get Weissman. We need to get a big guy." Blah blah blah. You never know, but it makes sense if we found out that's what it was, because that set the team back a little more. If he had picked the right guy at that pick, they would have been able to maybe carry this on a little longer.
We should have traded Lonnie Walker and 5 picks for Bay. He would have been perfect for us.
Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break. The NBA's trade deadline is here, and we're here covering it all. Thanks so much to everyone in the chat. The Magic Man, Sean Grice, and Jamie Sweet, our cohorts in crime, are there in the chat right now as we speak. If you want to go ahead and join in. Zangerstein's there. So many great people. Petting My Cat is there. So many great faces, so many great names are in the chat right now. The best Lakers chat room that's out there right here at the Lakers Fast Break. This is also, they're going off on Darvin Ham right now as we speak. But still continuing on, finding out it is less.
Let's give Darvin Ham a little bit of a pat on the back. I think he finally blew a gasket again. After the
during halftime. It was during halftime.
Yeah, he finally blew a gasket. He finally couldn't handle it anymore. I was saying something funny, like maybe he knew he was getting traded, so now he could go ahead and drop the hammer on Westbrook. But Westbrook, he's just such a terrible team player. He infects everything in such a terrible way because he's got an attitude problem at every moment of the day. It's just who he is. And when you have a coach that's already struggling to coach LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and then you have this $47 million player who doesn't even compare in terms of skill sets of those guys and making more money than them, he was kind of stuck in a really bad position. So we're going to know for sure here, hopefully, we get one more guy here before 12 o'clock. We're going to find out if Darvin Ham was shackled during the Westbrook era. And if they start playing really well and you all of a sudden notice that he's got better rotations on his decisions, then maybe that may have played a part in it.
Another big trade. Sorry, Tom. Sorry, Joe.
Oh, no.
So not only are the Clippers getting Bones Highland, they're getting Eric Gordon. So they are loading up with some nice guards heading over to that team right now. So the Clippers will have some good shooters out there with Bones Highland and Eric Gordon. Again, surprising to me on the Bones Highland deal. I'd love to know more about why Bones Highland became
he's perfect. He's perfect with Russ, man. Him and Russ are unplayable in the playoffs because they just don't. They do what they want to do, not what's better for the team. Here's another thing: the Lakers are definitely Kevin Love, who's going to be bought out.
Kevin Love is going to be bought out.
That's one of your centers. Stretch five.
Is it Kevin Love or Kevin Lust?
Kevin Love.
Well,
for a buyout candidate, he would be fine. I mean, he's a guy who can stretch the floor.
But what does he really do that anymore? What does he really do?
That's what he really does. That's what he still does.
Well, used to do. Cleveland. There's a reason he was integral in Cleveland, but at some point in time, there's a reason why.
He's probably not going to play on the Lakers except in case of emergency.
But
it is an indicator that the Lakers might stand pat. I hope they don't. I don't think they should. It's just that, Rob's like you got a girl that cheated on you once and you just don't trust her, even though even though he's been great all off season so far, I just don't trust that final move until I see it, like you say, Gerald.
I agree. And Eduardo, the Clippers haven't had to trade any of their depth, which is something that I talked about earlier before the season, that they came in with one of the deepest teams in the NBA, and they've only been able to add on it. They haven't really traded much of that depth away.
Too much depth sometimes can be a detriment. Can be hard with
the often injured.
That's the other side of it.
George and Kawhi, it's nice to have a little bit more firepower coming off the bench. I know that's been talked about here already in the chat as far as having too much depth, but I'm of the mind.
My fear with them was trading somebody impactful.
It's a three-team trade. It's a three-team trade for Gordon. Kennard is getting sent to Memphis.
Okay, so Luke Kennard is getting sent to Memphis.
So they lose a little bit of that depth for Eric Gordon.
Okay. But you're trading one shooter for another, I guess.
Correct. It's almost a wash.
It's not a major upgrade like the Suns did. That's what I was afraid of.
John Wall going to the Grizzlies in that deal as well.
So John Wall and Luke Kennard going to the Grizzlies. The Clippers are getting Eric Gordon. So it looks like
some guy just clowned Woj. Said Shams smoked you on this.
Well, Shams got it on the Jakob Pearl trade. Adrian Wojnarowski didn't report it until until today. So that's something I think that would,
that's kind of petty to just not report it at all until the next day if you got beat.
Yeah, he got beat good on that one. That was kind of, but he actually Adrian was the first one to report as far as for the Lakers. I think as far as what I'm seeing. So. The Lakers trades. With these guys, they get the information virtually at the same time. You know, it's almost like a horse race between these two. So that's always funny to see them,
You think
especially at draft day.
They're probably
Draft day is the funniest.
they're
day to
probably
see.
like those designers in the fashion world. Like, can't believe he got first. Probably one of those guys, huh? Those guys behind the computers, right?
Maybe, but remember, Shams was once the protege of Wojnarowski back at Yahoo Sports, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
So the student is trying to outdo the teacher. Is that how it works?
Something like that. Yep, something like that. I heard they don't have a good relationship anymore, is from what I've heard.
Oh, how sad.
I wonder why.
Oh.
But once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break NBA Live watch party right here for the NBA trade deadline special. Thanks so much for joining us. Truly appreciate it. We're still trying to figure out this multi-team trade between the Clippers, the Rockets, and the Grizzlies. Looking forward to hearing more about it.
Danny Green to Houston.
Danny Green to Houston. See, this is going all over the place. We're getting little bits and pieces of it. As far as who's going where, you got John Wall headed to the Grizzlies. You got Luke Kennard headed to the Grizzlies. Yeah, you got. Hopefully we can get a clarification on exactly everything involved in this trade, because that might be the biggest trade right now in the past 20 minutes. So hopefully we can get more big trades coming up here in the final 45 minutes. Luca said, when does the buyout market start and end? There is an eligibility date for the playoffs, so there is a deadline, I think, for a buyout player so they can still be eligible for the playoffs. I have to get the clarification on that, but that's a great question, Luca. Tom or Joe, can you find out the clarification on when the buyouts start as soon as the trade deadline ends? So teams can start buying out players ASAP after that. But there is a deadline on when players are eligible for the playoffs, have to be on the roster for them to be eligible for the playoffs. So I know that there's got to be at least a deadline for that. So if you guys can get a clarification on that for me while I'm checking out the trades, that'd be great.
It's March 1. Players waived after March 1 are not eligible to play in the season's playoffs. So they have to do the buyouts have to be after the deadline and up to March 1 if they are to play in the playoffs. So we're going to have, what is that? We're not doing a leap year this year, so we have 19 days of buyout window to see who's going to be picked up.
Okay. So
I'm going on record here. I don't want any buyout players. Players 9 out of 10 times, actually 9.9 out of 10 times are either washed or not effective when it matters. I have never seen
Morris.
I don't know.
There's one.
I keep seeing that pass to the fourth row in Game 5.
But the Lakers did win the title.
I can't get that out of my head.
Starting forward, that's all I'll say. Jamie Sweet also put the information as far as the link in the chat if you want to check that out from SB Nation there. But yeah, Luca, it looks like March 1st is the deadline for players to be eligible for the playoffs. But yes, you can go ahead and actually buy out players at any point in time. Jamie Sweet says Andre Drummond again. He has played well for Chicago. I will give him that. But I don't know if...
Holy crap, except Shams screwed up. Patrick Beverly going to Orlando for Mo Bamba.
There you go.
Really?
Yes, but Shams put the Clippers. He accidentally put Los Angeles Clippers in his tweet. Because he was trying to get it out so quick, probably.
Yes.
Oh, dude. Rob made up a lot of ground here, guys. Holy smokes.
So the Lakers get Mo Bamba.
For freaking Beverly. We're done. We're done with the freaking malcontents.
They do get some size. He's 7'1" with 7'7" reach. 7'10" reach. He's got 7'10" reach. So
and he shoots threes, 38%.
We
about 36%.
This was I'm just waiting to see how many picks they
Tom,
gave.
he's somebody I've talked about Mo Bamba since the summer as far as what the Lakers should acquire.
Yeah, I've had him on probably a dozen trades already this season. But that's perfect because what I love about that is we have an option of starting him or not starting him depending on the other team we're playing. We
The
can go
question
big,
is, the
jumbo
Lakers give up
big, or
anything
super
else?
small.
So so Adrian got it right. Adrian Wojnarowski. The Magic are trading the Lakers guard Patrick Beverly to Orlando for Mo Bamba. We don't know if any picks are involved. We don't know
I'm
if
sure
Lonnie
they are,
Walker has
but
been
that's a
added.
hell of a haul.
Oh,
That is a hell of a haul.
way to go, Rob.
Yeah, Rob really killed it on this one.
Yep. Seeing that right now, it's great to see. As far as Mo Bamba going to add some size, hopefully he get a chance to play. That's something I think that is as always, even as a lottery pick, he's not been able to get a chance to really, I think, start and play some great minutes for
Sounds
Orlando.
like 1 second round pick, by the way, G.
Okay, so that's good.
So we got 5 more
Yes.
and a first.
Yes.
Do we?
There
Do
you
we?
go.
Do we? What
So
do you
we
want to
kept
do?
the
Do you guys
first.
want to?
Well, we still got Lonnie. We
You
still
think-
got Lonnie.
You think we got something even bigger in 39 minutes?
I don't think so. I think that's going to be it. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong because the Lakers still need more. I think they need more. I think they need to go ahead and allow for, something a little bit more as far as to fill out the roster. We'll see. You got again the Lonnie Walker the fourth, and then a first rounder as far as still available. If the Lakers are interested in trading that, I don't know what they can get for that because there's only $6 million as far as the salary is concerned. So that's not going to be a whole lot for you. So I think this may be it for the Lakers as far as for what they're trading for. So Mo Bamba gets traded from the Orlando Magic, headed to the Los Angeles Lakers for Patrick Beverly and a second round pick. So like Joe said, the Lakers still have 5 second round picks and a first round pick that they can trade. Lonnie and a first rounder. I think that's all that's left, other than the players that they just received in a trade that they can trade.
Yeah, they could
if
flip
they
them.
want to. That's all they have left right now as far as the outstanding players that were still on the roster at the start of the season. Lonnie Walker and the first rounder. The minimums, you could also trade the minimums that are available, or the low, the $1 million and $2 million players like Austin Reeves, Max Christie. Those players are still available, but Lonnie Walker is the only one that's available that hasn't just been traded to the Lakers, that can be traded, that has some monetary value as far as $6 million plus as far as what he signed during the offseason. So I guess at this point in time, you want to say it's just Lonnie Walker and the first rounder, you could, or the second rounders. But Laker Tom is happy. You've got some size. He has got one of the longest reaches that's out there at, I think, 7'10", as far as his reach, if I remember from the draft. But he's a guy who can block some shots, and he can stretch the floor for about, I think about 35, 36% has been what has been overall percentage from out there. He's been pretty good, especially for a big man. So I
They're almost
mentioned
always
him.
top of the key threes are sort of his spot.
That's been his thing. But I mentioned him during the summer, Tom, as a player that they should have gone for. So I'm glad that they finally got him now. So I'm happy for that. How much time he gets on this roster, I will wait and see. Maybe
I think he's a potential starter.
He could be. Yeah, put him alongside AD. You've got length, you've got size.
Not permanent starter, but an occasional starter when we go up against those teams with the big centers.
Okay, there you go.
Otherwise, he comes off the bench as to give us 48 minutes of rim protection. That's a huge benefit for us defensively.
Richardson to New Orleans.
That's too bad. I thought we might use one of our seconds for him.
What'd you say? Joe?
Josh Richardson to New Orleans.
That's another. Josh Richardson. It was also a focus for Tom. A good outside shooter. He's going to New Orleans, who's making some trades as well. So
why did Orlando trade? Why was there such a need to trade Bamba?
They have 2 other young centers that they think
Wendell
are better.
Carter Jr. Remember, they got him in the Chicago trade when Vucevic went to Chicago. That's why. And then Tom said it right. And plus, also Jonathan Isaac is back as a 6'10" forward / small ball center. Remember, because he came back from such great injuries, he may now be playing more of the 5 than the 4. So that's something they also have to consider. Plus, you've got Mo Wagner from the Lakers draft choice. Mo Wagner has been playing really well as of late for Orlando as a backup forward coming off the bench.
He and his brother both, boy.
Yeah, his brother's really good.
Brother's the better one.
Yeah, well, his brother's the better one, but I'm just saying Mo Wagner, if you've been looking at the box scores, you've been watching as of late, Mo Wagner has been playing really well for them. So more props to you. Another Lakers draft choice that's doing well out in the league. There's actually quite a few out there. So, my gosh.
That was really a great move, though, moving Beverly for him.
Yes.
We've gotten younger, bigger, and better.
Yep.
We've added size, shooting, and defense.
And there's balance. There's balance with this team. It's not all guards or zero of this. There's some balance, and then you can interchange. And
they didn't drag us down to 12 noon exactly before they drop something on us.
And now, since, we live in a league where, we got to have some rest. Well, now you can probably sit AD every, if you're playing the Magic.
Well, we've got size at center. We've got size at power forwards too now with Hachimura and who's the other guy we just got? Vanderbilt. So you got 2 power forwards that are natural power forwards that also play small ball 5. Both of them book minutes at 5. And then you got AD, where he can play 5 against almost anybody. And if you got a bruiser, you just bring in Bolton, have Mamba start instead. So it gives us great matchup versatility.
Yeah, absolutely. And the fact that we got our 3 second-round picks back.
We still got Lonnie because we don't want to lose Lonnie for nothing, man.
Yeah.
And he's not going to beat out Beasley to start.
No. But again, there's still things I think the Lakers can improve upon. I think when, they match up against the Phoenix now with Durant heading to Phoenix, you still got Denver out there as a Memphis.
You got matchup money for somebody like PJ Washington or, he's again a power forward. We just need that wing. We just need that defensive wing.
What do you think? Bohan's still in play here or what?
I don't know.
Because you got Lonnie 6.5, which with a minimum guy of 1.8 can get you up to 9 or 10 million. So you could bring in you could bring in Alec Burks, for example. He's great shooter, 6'6". He can play the 2 and the 3.
The Pelicans are trading Devontae Graham and 4 second-round picks to San Antonio. That's to get a lot of money off their cap. Because I know Devontae Graham was a backup, is disappointed. Actually, was a starter. Got him as a free agent. Didn't work out. And he's being traded to San Antonio for 4 second-round picks for cap space. Plus, San Antonio has to just take on money so that they can actually get to the floor. Because God forbid they would want to go ahead and spread the difference to the players. So they're trying to go ahead and take in as much money as they can to at least get through the floor.
Darvin Ham is only 1 6'1" guy left to play.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Not going to start.
I think Bamba is a great replacement for losing Bryant. He doesn't have the motor that Bryant does, but obviously he can shoot and he does.
If Bamba had his motor, he would be an all-star.
Lakers in talks with the Pistons right now as of 11:22 a.m., which was 7 minutes ago. So I think Rob is trying to get something done there.
Who's he trying to get? Who's left on the Pistons?
I don't know, but they're
Lakers. Lonnie's the only money we got unless we move somebody we traded for.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think that's probably the last thing here. The Lakers are trying to get. Whether they get it or not will be.
Well, if they included Beasley, for example, they might go after Bogdanovich. They could flip Beasley plus Lonnie, and that first round unprotected pick.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's been very interesting so far. Been very active after a little bit of a lull.
Very active, and these guys are very young guys. Yes. Mo Bamba is 23.
The thing, though, is if we
These are guys that are going to be around in 27 and 29.
I believe he has a player option for a second year on his contract. So that's something that Jamie mentioned, that he would still be on the cap if the Lakers decide to keep him. You always got to put that into play as well.
Who has the player option?
I believe it's Mo Bamba.
Hmm.
I think Mo Bamba has the control, if I remember correctly, on that. So
I like Mo Bamba. Rob's done a terrific job.
Yeah. And Zanger
he's still working on the Pistons.
I don't see any stipulation on Mo Bamba's 24 contract. It looks like it's guaranteed. Or
looks like a guarantee for second year. Okay.
Yeah,
but that's second year is important, because second year means this summer they'll be expiring contracts, so you can still trade them, but you're not on them for a long term. And that's exactly what people want in trade this summer, is expiring contracts.
Not if Tom has anything to say about it. He'll trade half these guys starting as soon as we get bounced from the playoffs. That's Jamie's tweet.
The whole world enjoys all of the trade talk and everything except for Jamie. I feel bad for him, man. He's missed out on
like the Mo
one of
Bamba
the
trade.
most exciting aspects of the NBA.
I like the Mo Bamba trade. I think it's fantastic, especially because of the fact that also not only do you bring a player with size, with a whole bunch of reach, he's got extremely long arms, some of the longest arms in the NBA, can shoot up to what, as Zangerstein was saying, 36 to 40% on threes. And then you're also talking about someone who provides you size in the middle. And the most important thing to, of course, Mr. Joe Soro, say goodbye to Patrick Beverley. That's the best thing right there. Joe Soro from day one did not want him on this team. I remember that rant. As soon as the Lakers acquired him, he went off like a firecracker on it, did not want him any part of this team. You saw what he did for this team as far as in mostly negative fashion. He obviously was not able to be that 6'1" wing stopper that Darvin Ham imagined him to be. So, the Orlando Magic have a lot of size anyways that can compensate for him. But, I think he also might be another buyout candidate as well with Orlando. I don't see him sticking with Orlando very long. No, I don't think so. But guys, so is this it for the Lakers? Do you think that's it?
I think they're trying to get Bogdanovich right now out of Detroit. They're trying to see if they can get something for a good amount of second round picks and maybe Lonnie Walker. I don't know, but I think they want to get one more guy that can be a big that could shoot.
On that 3-team deal with James Wiseman and also Sadiq Bey, Kevin Knox is being put into the deal.
I want you guys to understand something too, and I'm sure you do, but we're not thinking about it because we're thinking about individual talents. I want you guys to also understand the difference in these guys' talents with LeBron James, okay, and Anthony Davis. It's different playing with Paolo. He's going to be a good player.
Just been reported that the Lakers still trying to trade for Bohan and are getting close.
Yes.
Bojan Bogdanović.
If Rob gets Bogdanović without giving Rob, if he gets Bogdanović without relinquishing that first, you are, and even if he does,
he's got to give up the first.
Even if he does,
he's got to protect it. He got to heavily protect it. I don't
think you can. I think rules say you can't protect it for some reason. But I don't know.
You can't roll it over to the next year. You can only roll it into a second round pick.
I thought because the Lakers got a 2029 second round pick that they were able to protect it.
Tom got excited.
Tom got excited and he hit a button and he just left us. That's so funny. I didn't tell you, and Laker Tom cannot blame anything on me on that one. Once again, it's the Lakers Fast Break live NBA trade deadline special. We're trying to get as much information that we can. Tom just ascended according to Jamie's tweet. I don't know what happened to Laker Tom, but I didn't do anything on that one. You can't blame me on that one. That's all I say. Eddie says, are the new guys going to be able to suit up tonight? No, there's paperwork. Unfortunately, Eddie, they have to go through medicals. Most likely they'll be there for Saturday's game. Even the new guys that we traded for the yesterday, they unfortunately have to go through medicals, so they will probably only be available on Saturday. Tom, we got you back. You got so excited, you hit a button and you left
I
us.
don't know. Did we trade for Bogdanovich yet?
No, not yet, not yet. But you got to protect it, Joe. An unprotected first for a 34-year-old. I'm not with that, man. I'm not.
That
with
might be
it.
what's
That's a
taking a
big
while.
number.
Do they want to? Yeah, it's kind of like if Bogdanovich was 29, it'd be a different story. But 34, I mean, I get if you're gonna drop a first for Bogdanovich, that means they're trying to win this year.
Yeah.
With
Plus,
this
you're stuck
lineup
with
now.
his salary for 2 more years because remember, he got the extension.
Well,
That's fine. It's
there's only $2 million on the third year. So
that's fine. It's you now have something that you can trade if you need it for next year or something.
The problem that they have with him is that he's not a great defender, but man, he's probably one of the best clutch guys that you can go to for a mid-range or a three at the end of a game. He's very, very good in that sense.
That's a good
and that must mean that we have to flip somebody.
Yeah, that's
one of the guys who's coming in.
Yeah.
So it's got to be, well, it can't be D'Angelo. So it's probably Beasley, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And that's fine if that's the case. Because
Beasley and Walker. Beasley
is more of a bench guy than a starting guy. I really think, but I we'll see what happens there. But I just want to mention with Mo Bamba, he is still under suspension because he was suspended 5 games for fighting. So I'm not sure if that ends on the game on Saturday, but I think, according to Z, most likely he'll have to wait until Portland. So that's coming up next week. So that's most likely going to happen because he still has to sit out his full suspension. So we're going to have to wait on Mo Bamba until next week on that. But that's still going to be a great addition, I think. I'm really high on that addition for the Lakers, getting Mo Bamba for Patrick Beverley in the second rounder. As we did with the previous trade, not only are you getting some good talent in, not only are you getting some draft choices as far as the draft choices that you're sending out are not as bad as you have to go ahead and do so under normal circumstances, but you're getting rid of addition by subtraction 2 players that has been such a detriment to this team in Russell Westbrook and also Patrick Beverley. So thankful that they're gone. I wish them all the best, but they just weren't a great fit on this team, and it proved to be the case. Sovereign says these are the moves we needed to make months ago, but it seems patience was the key for Rob, and that's something I guess that was stressed. That patience was the key, even though everybody here and so many out there in Lakers land were wanting him to go ahead and trade right away. Zangerstein says no need to apologize to Rob. Should not have waited this long. We were in misery for 2 years already. This is his apologies to us fans. This is him also trying to keep his job. I had speculated that even though he had a nice fat contract, that if he didn't do anything this trade deadline, this would be his last trade deadline because of public pressure. So at least he can say he was very active and tried to trade all the assets he could, which if he does get fired in the offseason or at some point down the line, it's going to be a tough task for a new GM to come in with very much depleted assets. But again, we hopefully won't have to worry about that. Hopefully that Rob can go ahead and pull off one more big trade before the trade deadline ends. Anything to report so far?
No, nothing yet. Don't feel bad about criticizing Rob and Jeannie. Sean said it best. Pressure does 2 things. It either, does this in your you know what, or it makes diamonds. And maybe the pressure that Laker Nation, Laker fandom put on these guys looks like might be one acquisition away here in the next 20 minutes that made the potential diamonds. So don't feel bad. Well, I don't feel bad for criticizing them. That's why the Lakers are great, because the pressure is on them. We're here to be great. 17 banners. And now it's 17 banners up there now. It's not 12 with one banner that has 5 on it. It's 17 banners. And we've seen 6 of those banners go up. And not so long ago, one of them about 2 years and 5 months ago. So, I don't feel bad about criticizing Rob. This is what you're supposed to do. And we're going to congratulate him for doing it too. We're going to criticize you when you stink, and we're going to congratulate you when you do well. That's how it works in the real world, folks. That's how it works. Now, there is some timelines, right? Let's say you win a title. and maybe you stink the next couple of years, right? You know what? We won a title a couple of years ago. Cool. Yeah, if you're a Cleveland Cavalier fan. But when you're the LA Lakers and you're tied with the Boston Celtics and the Boston Celtics are starting to creep up and getting scary, you need to start getting your stuff together. We cannot have them put up 18 before we do. You know why? Because then we got to win 2 more titles to pass them. I don't want to do that. I'm 44 years old. Tom is 76, going on 77. He don't have time. He needs to see 18.
That's funny. I do want to mention, though, Zangerstein was talking about how Malik Beasley is one of the best shooting guards in the league. Right now, he's averaging about 36%, which is down from his high of 43% actually 3 seasons ago. So he's been shooting around a little under 40%, right around 37.
Hornets
36%.
trading center Plumlee to the Clippers. Clippers sending Reggie Jackson to Charlotte. So the Clippers are loading up. They're seeing what's going on here.
And for them, it's bonus when it comes to Reggie Jackson, because Reggie Jackson, remember, he was waived by Detroit. They Clippers picked him up. He played well for them in the playoffs. So, yeah, you're right. The Clippers are loading up as far as a backup center for Zubac. So, yep. Looks good right now. Though, once again, the Lakers here for us, they traded for Mo Bamba within the hour for Patrick Beverley and a second rounder. So hopefully we can see one more transaction for the Lakers before we head on out as far as the trade deadline is concerned.
There's some bad news here that there's no way they can get Boyan because Beasley can't be aggregated with anybody else, and his 15.5 salary is not enough to get a 19.5 Boyan. So there's no way we can trade for him. I think those discussions with the Pistons were before the Mamba trade was announced.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the case. But yes,
at least that's how it looks to me on the trade machine.
The chat has been great. I truly appreciate everybody in the chat room being out there going crazy. Magic Man,
that's
Hassan,
funny, Luca. That's
Zanger sign. Got to be the shoes. Still wanting to trade AD. It's so great in the chat room. Julian got some great new faces in there. If you haven't liked and subscribed already, please go ahead, like and subscribe today. We're looking to see if we can get a really big bump because we're going to be on the air another hour and a half later on tonight for our post game right here at the Lakers Fast Break. So don't forget about that. Plus playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break for a live watch party against the Milwaukee Bucks. Looking forward to that as well. Man, the chat is going off the charts. Truly appreciate everybody being a part of it. Guys, any more trades you're looking for then if the Lakers can't get Bogdanovich? Has we lost Laker Tom once again?
I don't know. I think Tom might be pressing the X button on accident. I don't know. I think they just need, you never have enough shooters, right? And if you can get a guy that's that deadly, you are going to help your team even more and spread that team. Again, guys, you have to pay attention to the details here. We have LeBron James feeding these guys now. It's a different ball game. And these guys can actually shoot. There's no infection in the locker room. No more Pat Beverley. No more Russell Westbrook. Those two guys are they're drips. They're drips. They're slow drips to the forehead.
The Lakers have made the trade.
For Bogdanovich?
Yes.
No way.
Let's see. Okay. I haven't seen it from Wojnarowski yet. Or Shams.
First round pick, 3 second-round picks, and Lonnie Walker. Now, I don't know if this is true or not.
I don't know if it's true. Let's no more fake trades, please. Let's no more fake trades.
Is it the fake Woj?
No, the bubble Woj. I remember that one. That one was funny.
No, this is from...
Yes, let's not go with that yet. I've not seen a confirmation on that yet. So I look at Shams and Woj. If it's not Shams and Woj, I'm not going to confirm it right now. So
what do those guys have? Some kind of software on a computer that catches all this, or
they got bribes to guys in every front office, is
and
what they
agents, GMs. Yeah.
You want to spread rumors? You got to help me when I need information from you.
Interesting.
Yes, works both ways. Yeah, especially with the agents, they are
Well, you know what I
mouthpieces for
forgot on the
state, but
Boyan thing? I forgot that they don't need to match salaries because they are way under the cap, the Pistons. So that's why they can trade Walker straight up for him. God, what a deal if we could pull that off.
Man, the chat is going crazy. It's one of our biggest chat rooms ever. Thanks so much for joining us. It is the Lakers Fast Break. If you like what we do, please go ahead and like and subscribe today. We're counting down the minutes, 15 minutes left. What can the Lakers do? Do they still have time to go ahead and work out a trade? We'll see. The Clippers, again, just made a trade. Mason Plumlee goes to the Clippers for Reggie Jackson. So that's something I guess that the Clippers really needed, especially with getting Bones Highland and Eric Gordon. They needed to go ahead and ship off one of their guards, and they did with Reggie Jackson going to Charlotte. Mason Plumlee gives them a little bit more beef inside as far as a backup to Zubats. So that'll be interesting to see how they can go ahead and continue with a season that's been underwhelming for them so far. But we're still monitoring the trades as we speak. We've not heard any confirmation on any Bojan Bogdanovic trades, so I'm not going to go ahead and say yes yet. Again, Laker Tom is looking through for any fake trades that he can, but 3 years running, it seems to be a custom here at the Lakers trade deadline special. But Joe, anything that you're seeing right now with 15 minutes left?
Could there be a chance they go after Royce O'Neal?
Royce O'Neal would be great. He's a wing. He's a good defender.
He's shooting 40% from three.
Yeah.
Is it true that Joe Tsai doesn't like the Lakers, or it's just he didn't want to?
We don't know. We know he doesn't like Kyrie.
Okay, so I've heard. I don't really know. I don't really understand why Joe would not like the Lakers. I don't think they've ever done anything to him. But that would be I would say that might even be a bigger acquisition than Bojan, sorry.
Well, he'd be a better fit defensively, that's for sure.
Yeah. So
But Bojan,
sorry. Yeah, I don't.
Bojan can shoot the lights out, man.
I wouldn't balk at either or, but I'm just saying in case they're asking for too much, that's gonna be the question here in the next 13 minutes.
This is whatever they ask for, what we got left, we could give them. It's not like we're a shallow team now.
Yeah.
You want Christie? I love Max, but
we got to win now.
Yeah.
I don't want to start. Tiago, that's a great question. What would the lineup look like with Bojan Bogdanovic? Putting him instead of, putting him.
AD plays 5 in that situation for sure.
AD plays 5, Bojan and LeBron. Then you have
at the
Beasley
4, Bojan at the 3.
Yeah, and Russell. But let's not confirm that as of yet because it doesn't look like as of yet.
Where'd you read that, Tom?
Pardon?
Where'd you read that speculated trade?
I'm trying to find it again.
Probably deleted it.
I tell you, Twitter has been so screwed up, and my timeline has been so screwed up by the new owner.
Yeah.
Everything
Twitter's
goes.
the black hole.
Yesterday, I was told in the middle of the day that I couldn't post anymore because I post over 2,400 times today.
Yeah, what they're doing is
I
they're
only
monitoring
posted like 5 tweets the whole day.
They're monitoring the bots that have infected Twitter. I think they're trying to find out who's real, who's not. Still, that's my assumption. I don't have any details on that. But it seems like Adrian Wojnarowski and Shams don't have a problem. So they obviously know that they're they don't know. Unfortunately, they don't know who Laker Tom is. Somebody better get on the phone.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, the last thing I've heard was that's been reported is the Reggie Jackson to Charlotte for Mason Plumlee. Still trying to continue on finding out if any action is made. There's 11 minutes left. 11 minutes left in the trade deadline, so we're still trying to find out if there's more movement to be made. Hopefully, there's still going to be a flurry of action left with 10 minutes left in the Lakers trade deadline. Laker Tom should get unlimited tweets according to what we see here from Tiago. Sovereign says he had me for a sec with that Tom, you owe me a drink. I've told everybody out there, it's 3 years now. There's always a fake trade that Laker Tom
it popped up on Twitter, and I just announced it. That's all.
Yes. It must be true. It's on Twitter. Yes, it's always true on Twitter.
Well, one thing is for sure. I think they're going to trade him. There's the Knicks are after him too, and be interesting.
There's no deal for John Collins out of Atlanta. Leaks sources out of Yahoo Sports.
That poor guy. He's been on the trading block for years now.
Yeah. It's funny because the quote on Lakers Ball said the same thing you just said, G. He's like, poor guy, feel for him. Almost got out before the KD move went down.
For 4 seasons now, he's been like
Gary Payton going back to Golden State.
Oh, there you go. For 5 second
rounders. Really?
I would have given 5 second rounders for Peyton myself, man. You saw what he did. He won the championship for them.
Him and Wiggins playing defense.
The defense that he played in that championship series was as good as any guard I've seen.
Come on, man. We had 5. Why didn't we go after Gary Payton the second?
Yeah. The heck with the Thunder's 19 first-round picks. Give us 20 second-rounders, and we can really make hay.
The Warriors are routing Kevin Knox to the Blazers via multi-team deal with the Pistons.
Cool.
Kevin Knox is also a guy who was drafted in the lottery who has not panned out as of yet in his career.
I think you can pan that pretty.
Trying to be nice.
Way on to the Lakers, man.
Got 9 minutes left, Tom.
I'm waiting for it. Well, we still got a little extra time because we probably already notified the league that we're almost on a deal. So
they're allowed, if they're working on a deal at the time of the deadline, they're allowed to work on
a little extra time, overtime.
That's why we're on a little bit longer. We're on.
Except I gotta leave. I gotta leave about 10 minutes after noon because my stupid hair cutter only cuts hair every 5 weeks, and so this is a 5-week day.
Tom needs his grooming, but we'll be here till 12:30 Pacific just to make sure everything's done. Get some final analysis from Joe then, if that's the case. Then, of course, tonight we'll be on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break for the live watch party as the Lakers face off against the Bucks. And, of course, if I still have a voice left, I'll be here along with the guys for the Lakers and the Bucks post game right here at the Lakers Fast Break, wherever you get your podcasts. Truly appreciate everyone joining us. Gonna see. But Jamie Sweet says looking like a dirty hippie, Laker Tom. So
here's another phony trade, or just another announcement by somebody not big. Lakers have traded for Bojan Bogdanovic, Lonnie Walker, and Austin Reeves to the Pistons.
Yeah, that's not again. No confirmation on any trades for the Lakers. Again, unless I see it from
but that's a smart counter by the Pistons, obviously.
Yes.
Look, Bogdan, you could say
you don't want to give us. You're only going to give us a pick, so we want this and that.
You could say that Bogdanovic. I mean, he's averaging 21 points, hitting almost 42% from 3. You could say he could be the third guy. And by the way, he hits at 88% at the free throw line. And that's the other thing is he's hitting at 88%, and D'Lo, I think, is 87 or 86. That is going to play a huge part in those end of the game problems we have. It's going to be huge.
Well, he's a guy you can give the ball to and just clear the side.
I mean, come on, guys. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I'm putting it on the record. If they get Bogdanovic, they're trying to win a championship right now.
Yeah.
If they don't, because that extra
contenders,
it's going to be
it's all up to the MVP AD. If AD comes back and plays like the MVP before he got hurt, we'll win. If he doesn't, all of this stuff doesn't matter. We'll just be a better team next year.
But I'm getting.
Yeah, I know, Reeves. It's a good point, Eduardo.
Reeves will be asking for more, but
that's why you trade Reeves instead of Christie.
Well, he's had he hasn't had a great season, in my opinion. A little bit sketchy off and on. Been in and out of the lineup. I know that still people are high on him. Still not sure if he's a rotation player on a winning team. So he still has to develop his outside shooting. Reeves could be kept for the MLE. That's according to Jamie Sweet. If we want to go ahead and still
Don't trade. Don't trade. Don't trade.
no trade. Yes, no
Dr.
trade
No.
as of yet.
It's Dr. No. His new name is Dr. No.
So the infighting continues between Jamie Sweet and Laker Tom. If you want to see more of it on a daily basis, go ahead and check out Lakerholics.com. They have a great time going ahead and sharing their opinions. Of course, Laker Tom, the #1 Lakers blogger, and Jamie Sweet with his 5 Things articles. Go ahead and check it out today at Lakerholics.com. You can find Joe Soro around LakersBall.com. Go ahead and check out LakersBall.com today. And also as well, Sinblades. If you're in the Southern California area, Sinblades, great place to go for a new lawn today in the Southern California area. Sinblades with the Y.com. Jamie Sweet still providing the smack. He says Tom's name is Broken Clock, right every 3 years. LOL. Okay. These guys are going at it. So excited to see a lineup. Gary Taylor is so excited to see a lineup without Patrick Beverly. I think I am as well. Just cannot say good things about that.
Like it's such a relief. There's no more. The guys are going to be able to go into the locker room now and just breathe. No more Beverly. No more Westbrook. No more walking on eggshells with those slaps. Calm. Let's focus on basketball. No more emotions. That's a good thing. That's the good thing.
That's a good thing indeed. I think that's probably one of the best parts about this trade deadline is that the Lakers got rid
Darvin
of
Ham has requested a trade to the buyout market to stay with Patrick Beverly.
Huh?
Darvin Ham has requested a trade to the buyout market because he wants to stay with Patrick Beverly.
That's a funny joke.
That's a funny joke. Yes. So, okay. All right. Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. BDA Pink says, "Stop it, Tom. Please, no more of these fake trades."
BDA finally had to come out of the woodwork. All right, dude. I'm just trying to listen today, Tom. I got to say something now.
Once again, we're still in the final minutes, 3 minutes left of the trade deadline. Again, they might be working on some deals in the background that they already start on, so the NBA allows them to go ahead and at least to try and work things out. But we are in the final minutes of the trade deadline. It's been a good trade deadline for the Lakers. The Lakers get Mo Bamba for Patrick Beverly and a second rounder, and then they traded away Thomas Bryant for Devon Reed and 3 second rounders. So we'll see what happens if the Lakers in the final couple of minutes can do anything.
Hornets are trading Mason Plumlee to the Clippers.
Yeah, that's what we reported on for Reggie Jackson. Yeah, that we reported on a little bit earlier.
I'm glad to see Jackson gone. He kills us, man. That guy is just death on us.
And he was clutch in the playoffs for the Clippers, but again, he's not done as well. I know that the point guard has been an issue for the Clippers. The Pelicans are trading Devontae Graham and 4 second-round picks to San Antonio. That's the latest updates I have right now with just a couple minutes left. Hopefully we can see a little bit more action before the trade deadline ends. And then you've got that multi-team trade, the Warriors, the Blazers, multi-team with the Pistons, with Gary Payton II going to the Warriors for 5 second-round draft picks. Kevin Knox is going to the Blazers, just really still fleshing out that deal there. Thanks so much again for joining us. Sovereign says, oh my gosh, this Bamba is going to be a great addition to the team. Can't wait till he starts playing for the Lakers. Probably going to be next week because, as Angerstein astutely pointed out, he's still on a 5-game suspension. So that finishes out next week, most likely against Portland. So when he'll be able to be available. No Levine deals or OG Anunoby deals, which is kind of surprising for OG Anunoby. The lack of trades for Toronto, Joe, as of right now, are you surprised that there was a lack of action outside the Jakopoto trade?
When they got him, I thought that doesn't sound like they're trying to unload anything.
Yeah,
they're just adding more depth to the team to maybe try and see if they can
one last run.
We'll see. Obviously, they were in question as far as the team, whether or not they were going to be a buyer or seller. And it looks
Masai is kind of a little sneaky
he wants to win every trade. This is one of the things that I find interesting about the 3 trades that Russ has pulled off, or that Rob has pulled off so far, is that I've often criticized him in the past or I've criticized critics of him in the past for, there's a difference between winning a trade and winning the trade details, because there are a lot of trades that I felt that Rob should have made that he didn't make simply because he wasn't brave enough to make the trade. And usually that's because the guys focus on the details of the trade. And the little details, they definitely count. The details like getting D'Angelo Russell instead of an older Mike, a 35-year-old Mike Conley, or getting for 1 pick what you might have had to pay 2 picks for, or getting a guy that should have cost a pick for 2nd-round picks. So Rob's done just a terrific job. If I don't know whether there's any chance that they can pull off for Walker at the end, but if he pulls something off for Walker, this is executive of the year type material. He's impressed the hell out of me.
Well, I'll tell you what, with the Lakers, again, what they got with Mo Bamba being a center that they can put maybe in the starting lineup, or having, like Tom said, coming off the bench, provide some size, length, and can shoot from the outside. Obviously, the big trade yesterday where we got D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, also Jared Vanderbilt. We did trade away Thomas Bryant for 3 second-rounders and Devon Reed, who's going to be a backup guard. Maybe he'll stay on the team. We're not sure. But, yeah, overall, that looks to be it for the Lakers as far as the transactions that they're doing today. Lonnie Walker looks like he's going to stay on the team. You
guys already in that last trade for me. I got to run now.
All right. So,
Okay.
Lakers, Tom, any final thoughts before you head on out on the Lakers? Big win today. You're smiling.
I think the team's going to be jacked tonight. I think LeBron and AD are going to be jacked tonight, and I think we're going to upset them.
Okay. Well, there you go.
We need to start a win streak. No better time to start it than tonight.
Well, hopefully we'll see you tonight for the watch party and the post game. Thanks so much, Laker Tom.
I'll see you at both of them.
All right. That's awesome. We'll see you there. That is Laker Tom from Lakerholics.com. Go ahead and check out him and Jamie's suite today at Lakerholics.com. So, Joe, there you have it. Looks like the trade deadline has come to a completion, although maybe there's some residual stuff left. But Adrian Wojnarowski and Shams Charania are not reporting anything at this time. So your thoughts? It looks like that's done for the Lakers for this year. Now it looks to maybe the buyout market, but at this point in time, the Lakers look like they're completed. Your thoughts on the trade season for the Lakers, getting Rui, getting D'Angelo, getting Malik, getting Jared, and getting Mo Bamba. Does that make you a little bit happier about where the Lakers can be going for the rest of the season?
Yes, just the fact that you got rid of a lot of headaches. You got rid of all your headaches, and you've got back talent that can contribute. It's been a year and a half of just dread, constantly having that pit in the stomach thing in every game, and every time Westbrook would handle the ball, you're cringing. Is he going to throw it to the stands? Is he going to throw it off the backboard? Even the shots he would make, you just went, okay, good. It wasn't yes. It was very few of those in a year and a half. I'm not going to say he was a cancer, but he was just everything negative when it came to winning. And starting Saturday, we don't have to worry about that anymore. Tonight we start, and I hope that they can compete tonight. I'm not expecting a win tonight, unless, of course, the Bucks fold a little bit. But it's nice. It's nice that and on top of that, you get rid of Patrick Beverley, who, he's not a Laker to me. He never was, never will be, and didn't belong playing in the Lakers. I don't like his shtick. I don't know why James Worthy, other than to be politically correct on Sportsnet. Oh, you like him when he's on your team. You don't like him when no. This is not. No, I don't like him at all. I don't like him, not even a little bit, on our team. I'm sure he's a nice guy off the court. Probably not. Probably is. I don't know. But I'm just not. we're not running a circus here. We're here to win championships. And Rob made up a lot of ground, shipping out 2 detriments to winning, detriments to enthusiasm for a team that at least now has a shot at least at having an identity. Now it's Darvin Ham's job to not screw this up. If this is not going to get fixed, which is Darvin Ham's coaching, then they're going to have to evaluate him this summer, because he has not done well. Not in the fact that he does deserve credit in convincing Westbrook of coming off the bench and doing that. But back to what I told you about that camera thing really bothered me, in the fact that he had every right to unleash on somebody for bringing a camera on the court. And I'm sure that even Patrick Beverley was like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have done that. That was too outrageous to not comment on that and not send him to the locker room. But that's what it's going to take, guys. It's going to take somebody that has some leadership qualities, that's going to put a foot in some people's rear ends when they do stupid things. And I'm hoping that now that Darvin Ham doesn't have to worry about walking on eggshells with Westbrook, he can start doing that with this team.
We'll see what happens. I agree with Z. There's still too much in the backcourt. I still think we're 1 or 2 players too heavy in the backcourt. I think there's still going to be a logjam of average to below average guards as far as in many occasions. Malik Beasley should provide a lot of shooting as far as number of attempts. Z clarified that it wasn't percentage. It was just basically off of makes and attempts. So you got someone there. Both of them with D'Angelo Russell and Malik Beasley both want to chuck it up 7-8 times a game. I'm all for it. Obviously, it spreads the court a little bit more, makes things easier for LeBron and AD, hopefully to post the lane or to get into the lane and be able to have a little bit better driving accessibility. And then you've got players coming off the bench or even starting like Mo Bamba, Rui Hachimura, and Jared Vanderbilt is going to give you size, a little bit of length, defensive ability. Mo Bamba can shoot the 3. Rui can actually hit from the mid-range, provide some scoring punch there for you. And then in Jared Vanderbilt's case, give you some energy, maybe pit him with Wendy Gabriel to give you some real energy there. So now that Thomas Bryant is gone, who I'm really rooting for the kid. I'm really rooting for Thomas Bryant. Hopefully he'll get a chance again to stick as far as get some real minutes. I'm not sure he'll be able to do that in Denver, backing up Jokic, but hopefully something will materialize good for him. But overall, I think it was a good trade season for Rob. I'm really encouraged by what we see. I'm positive on what we did for the trade deadline, especially because of the fact that we got rid of such negatives on the team, such distractions on the team, and Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverley. You were as passionate as anyone out there as far as not having Patrick Beverley on the team. I was as passionate as anyone out there not having Russell Westbrook on the team, and both of our problems were solved within a matter of 24 hours, my friend.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe doing that deal with Danny opened up some things for the D'Angelo Russell deal, which maybe I could talk myself into thinking that might have played a factor in it and made it worth its while. Unfortunately, I just wish we were 30 and 25, not 25 and 30.
Oh, you know that, absolutely.
And I would feel a lot better if that were the case. But that's what we sacrificed. We sacrificed 5 games. I mean, 5 games we had 5 games at the very least. I'm talking all you had to do is hit a free throw. Hit a free throw and you're
get a foul call.
Get a foul call. Some of it our fault, some of them not our fault. And at this point, we have a much better balanced team. We have a young, youthful team too. You don't have a 34-year-old Beverly, and you don't have a 34-year-old Westbrook. It's important to understand that this is a young man's game, and LeBron's offensive prowess in terms of controlling the offense is it's set for people who are athletic and can run and can be available. So what we had in the championship window of 2020, 2021 is we had Kuzma, KCP, Caruso types, guys that knew their roles. Kuzma, we were hoping would be better than he was, but he did make up a lot of ground on the defensive end, which helped. And then you had one last hurrah for JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard and those guys that really kind of gave us a big team that could move and know their roles as well. And that's the thing here, guys, is Russell Westbrook doesn't have a role in the NBA anymore. He's what Dwight Howard was last year. He looks like a Greek god. Yes, he can still run, but his skill set is outdated. And the only thing Dwight did that was different than Russell Westbrook was Russell Westbrook stuck to his stubborn gun, whereas Dwight sort of scaled back a little. And in this game, it's a game of inches. It's not just in football. It's in basketball too. When you don't focus on the team winning just for a little bit, you end up infecting the team and not allowing it to win. And that's what's been going on. It's just we're looking at Anthony Davis sitting down, not celebrating LeBron's achievement. We don't know what happened there. Maybe AD's just like, you know what? I'm so tired of dealing with all this BS. Every time I come to work, I got to pamper this guy, not say things about this guy. I can't criticize my coach because he's making bad. Like at some point, you're still a human being and you're going to have those emotions. I'm going to be curious to see how the body language looks tonight. We're going to find out, and definitely on Saturday. So I'm very curious. I'm very curious. And you're going to be able to tell everyone, you will be able to tell the difference between a Pat Bev Westbrook team versus not. I think we're going to see that tonight. I'm going to be watching it.
I believe he did as well as far as Dwight Howard. I believe he deserved that ring, especially for the way he played against Jokic in the playoffs in the bubble. I really think that him and McGee, their length against Jokic bothered him enough in that series to go ahead and give the Lakers one of their edges. Obviously, of course, having LeBron and AD, they're doing their thing. AD hitting that clutch shot as well. That was so awesome. I remember that. I was just jumping out of my seat for that one. Cannot thank enough all the good memories for that during the bubble. It's such a a horrible time for the world at that point in time. So yeah, it was great for Laker fans out there, but. Right now, it is the Lakers fast break. It is our NBA trade deadline special coming down to a close. I was hoping for more analysis, more trades coming through at the last minute, but it looks like everybody just stopped their phones, hung up. I want to go ahead and touch on the Kevin Durant thing one more time as far as the Kevin Durant trade, him going to Phoenix. This makes them a major contender in the Western Conference. I think this puts them right there as far as near the top. It's a team that could, at the very least, compete with Denver, I think, in a playoff series. What do you think about the Kevin Durant trade overall? Do you think it's really going to catapult the Suns, provided they're healthy? All things are healthy. The hamstring on Booker, CP3 doesn't look like he's 90 years old. If he could just look like he's 37 and still give you something, we'll see. But your thoughts on Kevin Durant going to Phoenix?
Kevin Durant's. I'm gonna talk about, because I think we discussed this a little bit last night, but I'm gonna talk more about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, when he left Oklahoma City, turned into a completely different person, and he has been doubling up ever since. It has affected his psyche, his personality. This is not one of those things where Kevin Durant, unfortunately, I'm going to have to use an analogy. Whitney Houston, I remember growing up, had a wholesome image, a person who had an amazing talent, right? And they brought her out as like the next Sade, if you know who that is. But maybe even a little bit more pop, right? Not so much new wave, whatever. And over the years, you saw her go to who she really was. And that was something that unfortunately didn't end well. Kevin Durant, I don't believe, was something else growing up. I think he grew up what we saw when he was in Seattle that short amount of time and up until 2016 when he was in Oklahoma City. You saw an unassuming basketball junkie who loved basketball, was all about basketball, and was the modern day weapon, scoring weapon of yesteryear. He was Jamal Wilkes with a better percentage, more length, more athleticism. And then he got tired in Oklahoma City of something. Westbrook gets blamed, right? But he wanted to win, and he goes to Golden State. And every time I remember when I was on social media during the 2 years that they won championships, all I heard in comments, and it wouldn't even revolve around basketball, I would see, well, it could be talking about somebody buying a new phone. Yes, this phone being whatever is still more valuable than Kevin Durant's championships. Like that was almost a meme, a written meme everywhere I would go on social media at random places, not even basketball related topics. So that turned Kevin Durant into a Sith. It turned him into the dark side. And he's not been able to get away from it. So much so that he confused himself into thinking, you know what? I got to rectify this. I got to go have my own team. Gee, I'm going to go play with Kyrie Irving. Come on. Really? That's what you were banking on? This after Brooklyn was building up a really young team. D'Angelo Russell had his only all-star appearance and his best season with Dinwiddie and that crew. And they were very excited in Brooklyn. If you go talk to Brooklyn fans, they love that team. They love that team like the Lakers love that 93-96 team with Nicky V and Vlade and Eldon and Terry Teagle and those guys and Cedric Sabalos. Same emotion because those guys played hard. They were young. They were running and gunning. It was exciting. The arena was, and by the way, if you have never been to the Brooklyn Barclays Center, it's a beautiful stadium. It's almost like Staples, but dark, which if you guys haven't noticed, I always like wearing black. So it's the same way. It's like a black and white color scheme. It's like Staples, the Crypt, but a more darker look, and I love it. I really enjoyed when I was there watching the game. So Durant now might have not demanded it publicly to leave Brooklyn. He may have not said anything. He might have, maybe Joe Tsai just said, you know what, I'm going to honor your request from the summer, out of nowhere, right? So now he sends him to Phoenix, where he's going to play with another superstar, an aging superstar, and a serviceable big. Is it not already stacked? I don't know. But for us to say that Phoenix is now the favorite is only an emotion. We've been doing that this last few years with James Harden getting traded to Brooklyn, with Russell Westbrook going to LA, which was really why they made that trade, because they needed to combat that trade with Harden going to Brooklyn. I want everyone to understand that the league has changed. The league has changed. You can't stock your team with 2 or 3 stars and just assume that you're going to get there. It doesn't work like that anymore, I don't think. And it really never really did. The only exception is really Golden State this last run that they had, because they had everybody in their prime already. It's different when you're in your prime. Draymond was in his prime, top 3 defensive player for a decade. You had Clay, who could play D, and a the second best shooter of all time. You had Steph Curry. You know who Steph Curry is. And then you add a Durant to that. That wasn't even fair at that point. It's like you're playing NBA 2K. You can set up any team however you want. And the only other time it worked was with excuse me. Sorry, my headphones.
You're still on.
Sorry, my headphones came out. Got a little too excited. The only other time that I remember it happening instantly was Boston in 08 when they brought in Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett to play with Paul Pierce. I mean, you can say Miami too with LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Bosh. You know, it's you're starting to like. I don't know. It's a discussion that I don't want to get into too much, but at this point, Durant, I don't know. He's going to have to stay healthy, and Booker's been injured all year. He's going to have to stay healthy, and then we've seen CP3 not really run out of gas or get injured towards the end of the year. And DeAndre Ayton he only plays well against the Lakers, I feel like. And now we have maybe we have a couple bigs now where we can throw at them, but or at least one now. But I'm gonna monitor Kevin Durant and see how his demeanor is. I'm gonna see how Booker is. That's that dynamic right there. We've known Booker to be a very temperamental guy, and Durant is way temperamental. So if there's ever a game where something happens and one thinks it was the other one's fault, that could be a major, major problem. And then of course you throw in Chris Paul there. Chris Paul, I always said, is the bridge between the old school and the new school, and that's why guys like Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan didn't mesh when they were in their primes, because I think Chris Paul expected more from them, and when he lit them up, they took offense to it and cried to their mommies and couldn't handle the criticism.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break, our NBA trade deadline special. Don't forget tonight, Lakers Fast Break on playback.tv. We're going to be there for the game against the Bucks and the Lakers. And then, of course, the post game right there for you at the Lakers Fast Break, wherever you get your podcasts. Joe, any last thoughts? I think we're going to go ahead and shut it down here in the next couple of minutes. Any last thoughts before we head on out?
Looking forward to seeing how the team plays tonight. I'm expecting an enthusiastic game at the very least. We'll see if they can put it together enough to where they're able to win it.
Looking forward to it as well.
Yeah, that's. I'm very, very anxious to see how they come out of the locker room, how they come out onto the court. If there's enthusiasm, if you start seeing the offense running smoothly, the rotations doing well, or being played out well by Darvin, you guys are all going to know what that means. It means the headaches are gone and the Lakers are back to focusing on winning basketball games, not being babysitters.
I'm excited for that Bamba AD combo, but we, like you said, Z, we will not see that until next week, until the suspension is lifted for Mo Bamba. But he is a brand new Laker coming over from the Orlando Magic for Patrick Beverley in a second-round draft pick. We did trade away, once again, Thomas Bryant to the Denver Nuggets for Devon Reed and 3 second-round draft picks. And, of course, the big trade yesterday, everybody's excited for the Lakers getting D'Angelo Russell, of course, Jared Vanderbilt, and actually also as well Malik Beasley for Russell Westbrook, and him going. JTA is gone. Damian Jones is gone. All the guys in the back end who weren't getting any time, that weren't going to help the Lakers anyways. I'm so glad. That I think was a great move just by the addition, by the subtraction alone. Not only that, you're getting some good shooting in return for that. So I'm happy to see the Lakers made some moves. Still kept their first round pick, Joe. They have 1 first rounder, the 29 first rounders still available, and 5 second rounders still available for the offseason.
Yeah, they stuck to what Their original plan was to not give up both first round picks. Although I would have liked to have seen them make something work for Bogdanovich out in Detroit. That was the one where I was like, man, if they can get that guy, then things could get very interesting this season. But I'm going to take a guess that Detroit probably wanted more. And Lakers said, nah, we can't do that. So it's unfortunate, but they got rid of two headaches that they really needed to get rid of, and they replaced them with guys that can actually play their positions and know their roles and not do stupid things like throw the ball in the second row every other game and constantly yap with nothing to back it up. No more 6'1" wing stoppers, please, for the love of God.
Absolutely. Absolutely, indeed. You're right, Z. They do need to go on a run, and it needs to start tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks. We'll see what happens. Please be part of what we do here at playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. You can watch the game along with us. And then, of course, afterwards, the best post game anywhere for Lakers fans right here at the Lakers Fast Break, and the best Lakers chat room that's out there. We've had hundreds and hundreds of comments in today's chat room. Just truly appreciate everyone out there being a part of what we do, from Z to Sovereign to Gary to Eduardo. So many great names. Magic Man, Jamie Sweet, they were in the chat room as well. So many great names. Terrence, Petting My Cat, Julian, so many great people. Thank you so much for everyone who was part of our chat today. Whoever got a chance to watch or listen to us, we cannot thank you enough for doing so. But I think Joe and I are pretty much done for now, but you will see us and hear us later on this evening. Looking forward to that as well. But Gary A, say we'll see you tonight. Appreciate it. Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. The Lakers do have new additions. We will not see them on the floor tonight. We'll probably see them on Saturday, but we will be here tonight. We're not taking a day off. We're not going through any medicals or anything like that. We're going to be live, playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. And of course, the best post game anywhere can be found right here at the Lakers Fast Break podcast. Thanks so much for watching. Everybody who spent any time at all, and for those who spent the entire time, thank you so much. We owe you. We appreciate you. We got nothing but love for everybody out there. Thanks so much, and be safe.